Beautiful. So welcome everyone. It's so great to be here today. Thank you for all your patience as we relax and release today. We're going deep on our journey. We are in for yin. This is the story of how it all begins. And nice and grounded here on the floor. We're going to take our bolsters behind our backs and we're going to relax. I will demonstrate here at the front if you don't already know. And we're going to get into that beautiful, beautiful flow. So let's begin with a deep breath in through the nose. Exhale long and strong through the mouth. Just starting to feel connected and grounded. Deep breath in through nose. Exhaling long and strong through mouth. As you relax all the way down on the floor with your bolster. Breathing in through nose and exhaling long and strong through mouth. Feeling that healing energy. Starting to wiggle it out. Through your nose, and all the way down to your toes. Taking a deep breath in, and a deeper breath out. So welcome everyone to day 3. As we let go and let be. It's an honor to have everyone here today. This is going to be another very special class as we continue on our journey to understand what it is to be grounded, what it is to grow from that grounding, and then one step further today, we're going to discover the gift. Because what is grounded can grow. Nothing can grow unless it is grounded. Not even a tillandsia, an air flower, can grow without being grounded. And everything that's grounded grows, and everything that grows gives. So think of a seed, grows into a tree, and a tree grows and grows and grows until it gives. What is the gift? That's the fruit. That's the gift that comes from growth. And each of you, as we get into day 3, are going to experience that same growth into the gift. And we're going to discover what that gift is for each of you. Day 3, letting go and letting be. So as we relax down onto the floor, with our legs nice and wide and our spines supported by the bolster, we're all together going to come collectively into a deep breath in through the nose. Hold the breath, stretch open our arms, stretch open our legs a little bit wider, wiggle it out, and then exhale, sigh it out. For 10. Deep breath in. Hold the breath. How was your day? How was my day? Exhale, sigh it out. 9. Deep breath in. 8. Releasing all that tension. 7. Feeling the healing. 6. 5. Really feel the vibe. 4. Letting go of wanting more. 3. Letting it be. 2. Seeing it through. And 1. Beautiful, yogis. Deepest breath in. You're going to hold the breath, feel the breath. Don't let it go. Holding that breath, feeling that breath. We are here for 1 minute on the clock. This is the mindful minute. As we relax, as we release, feeling the energy, nose to toes, and crown to tailbone. Deep breath in, and as we hold that breath in, 30 more seconds, we are here, we are clear, moving through all darkness, all doubt, without fear. Feeling the beautiful energy within you and around you. Noticing it, connecting with it. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, exhale, sigh it out. Beautiful, yogis. Deep breath in, connecting, hold the breath. Now I want you to think about what holds your back can also hold you back. I, the bolster, this class, this program, is all here to help you, to support you. We have your back. And with that extra bit of support and strength and length, let's release what is holding us back, getting out of our own way. And whatever it is, 5, 4, 3, 2, exhale, let it go. Beautiful, yogis. Deep breath in. Brahmari. Exhale, sigh it out. Beautiful. Placing your hands on your heart center now, I want you to focus on the intention. The intention is the mens rea. So in law, you have to have 2 things to be guilty of a crime, to be culpable, to be responsible. The first is intention, the second is action. If you have both the intention of doing something and you do it, and it's a crime, you're guilty. I want you to understand this though, going all the way back, when human beings first codified this consciousness of the law. Remember, it all comes originally from nature. So yin is the intention, and yang is the action. So our whole legal system is actually based on the very thing that we currently right now are studying. But we are not studying human, we are studying being. The being aspect of ourselves is all about these two energies, the yin and the yang. And these two energies are here for us to understand how we can be culpable, we can be responsible, just like the law is for us. So making sure your hands are nice and comfortable, place them one on top of the other, right above where you feel your heart center is. And we say heart center because the phenomena of when we identify ourselves, when you say, who am I? Or you feel grateful for something, and you place your hand in this area, it's not the physical heart. There's something else deeper. And this is what we call in yoga Atma, which translates as your spirit or your soul. And so as you connect with the deepest level of yourself, your spirit, your soul, I want you to remember what we talked about on day one about the water bottle. Right? The water in the water bottle that's floating on the ocean. So your spirit, your soul is inside of you. And with each breath you take, it comes and goes, but never leaves. It comes and goes, but never leaves. Because it's held within the vessel, it's held within you. And so where your heart is right now, your heart is the center of that space, that place. And this is where the intention needs to be seated. This is where the good soil is. And that is why many great teachers, many great teachings of consciousness all associate around a seed. In yoga philosophy, the Bhagavad Gita, as we discussed on day one, the original OG text where yoga was first written, the communion, the conversation between Arjuna and Krishna, man and God, where yoga was taught by Krishna to Arjuna, was do not do anything for the sake of the fruit, for the gift. Don't do anything for the gift. Do it for the seed. Because when you do it for the gift, when you do it for the fruit, you do it for the outcome. But if you do it for the seed and not worry about the gift or the fruit, this is the way of yoga. We're going to discuss this today during our grounding, our centering, our meditation, as we really focus on what is intention. Mens rea. It's all around us. It controls the whole human world. But it also, for our purposes, controls our being. And this is what is important for us to understand. Intention comes from our being. And this is the true teaching of the law of attraction. This is the way of the new age. And so you're finding yourself repatterning, redesigning, reconnecting, rejuvenating. Another powerful teaching of the seed is the consciousness of the mustard seed that comes from the teachings of Christ, which is if the seed isn't planted in the right soil, it cannot grow. If it's planted on the rocks, you can have the most precious thing. If it's planted, if the seed's put on rock, it won't grow. If it's put on the path, it will be walked on. It can only grow if it's put in good soil. And that is what we're doing right now. We're identifying where the good soil is. And that's why In ancient Egypt, I truly believe, they didn't put the brain in a canopic jar. But all the organs, but not the brain. They just scooped out the brain and discarded it. It was nothing to them. The civilization that built the pyramids, the brain was nothing to them. It was waste. There was nothing holy about it. And so the idea here is really understanding where the good soil is. It's not in your head, it's in your heart. And according to ancient Egyptian spirituality, that when we die, our heart is weighed on a scale. And the only way to transcend the human experience is that if your heart is lighter than a feather. If your heart has not yet reached that place of lightness when you die, then you will be what the Buddhists called reincarnated. You'll come back. Not a bad thing. You'll just keep coming back and back and back until you get it. But for our purposes, I want you to imagine this not as a curse or a blessing, not as something true or untrue. What I want you to understand this is reincarnation in this moment, reincarnation in this life. You have the choice right now to become as light as a feather. And if you can do it right now with me here, because yoga starts here and now, then I can guarantee you it will happen when you die. Because your spirit is ready. Your spirit is ready. Your spirit already knows it. Can you let it all go? Can you let it all flow? And the only way to do that is all the Maya, all the illusion, all the distractions, all the ancestral attachments, traumas, pain, suffering. The only way to do that is to have steadfast attention on your intention. And that is why in yoga philosophy, we call it the unconditional. The unconditional. So as you relax and release, remember why it is you are here. And as you hold your heart, the center, the seat of yourself, you're making a physical, emotional, and mental connection through the breath. In through nose, and long and strong through mouth. Now we're going to open up our arms like wings, finger like feathers, and we're going to flip it and reverse it. So we're going to go in through mouth, then out through nose. Forming a figure eight. In through nose, and long and strong through mouth. And we're going to breathe and be like this for quite some time. I want you to focus on the feeling. I want you to focus on the healing. And I want you to expand your intention from this heart center all the way out to your fingers and your toes. As you stretch it on through, all the way through. Now let it go, yogis, whatever stands in our way. Breathing all the way in through nose. Long and strong through mouth. Through mouth. And out through nose. Forming a beautiful figure eight. Your spirit is forming or signaling the eternal. As you navigate this eternal, this timeless space, feel your intention growing. Lighter than light. Way lighter than a feather. Because it's not something you do. It's not something you have. It's something you are. More minutes. Breathing in through nose. Long and strong through mouth. In through mouth. And out through nose. Focusing on that intention. Whenever we water the seed, it grows. As you breathe and be in this figure 8, connecting with your eternal nature. Nothing that you do, nothing that you've ever done, nothing that you've had, nothing that you'll ever have. Something you are. And when you understand that, that is self-realization. And all that stands in the way is why we're here for liberation. So when you're ready, yogis, let's take our final deep breath in. Let's hold the breath. 3 minutes on the clock. You don't have to hold the whole time. Just relax into it. Whenever you're ready to exhale, you can let go. As we water the seed, allowing the self, the seed, the Atma, to grow. The intention is what brings meaning to your being. 1 minute, 2 more minutes to go. As you feel the beautiful energy. As you experience this wonderful flow. Yogis. Those who are ready to let go, just back to our deep breath in through nose. And long and strong through mouth. Or just natural breathing. For those still holding, you're at the 2-minute marker. More seconds. Letting it go. Letting it flow. Ten, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, exhale, sigh it out. Good, stretch it out, yogis. Deep breath in. And exhale, sigh it out. And all wash away. One more time. Deepest breath in. And exhale, sigh it out. With that, yogis, let's all start to feel as we squeeze our fists, squeeze our hands, point our toes, curl our toes. And let's bring our hands back to our heart center, connecting with that intention. So it moves from the center to the periphery because it expands and contracts, just like the universe. The universe expands and contracts. And this is what happens when things in nature die. And if you choose to be part of nature, if you choose to be part of your being, which is connected to all nature, then the same thing will happen to you as what happens to a sun. Because that light is inside us all. That's our being. That's where we come from. And without it, we wouldn't be here. The yin is the gravity. The yang is the rays. Both create us. We couldn't be here without them. We wouldn't be here in this form. Good, bad, right, wrong, or otherwise. And when a star dies, when our sun dies, and it will die, it will implode. It will contract into itself. And as that happens, the gravitational pull will pull all of us in, all the planets in with it. And then it will contract and then expand. So I want you to imagine this practice we're about to take as an expansion. The first part was all about connecting, expanding, and then contracting. And now from this contraction, we're going to expand once again into the practice. Intention into attention. And the way to prove it to yourself and prove it to me is through the breath. That's what takes you from beginner to intermediate to advanced. That's what makes it more yoga, or you more yogic. It's nothing you can see on the outside. It comes from the inside. It's breath by breath. Drawing from that intention, drawing from the yin, and taking it out into the yang, into what you do. It's all coming from what you are. And that's the yin and the yang as one. The self. The self is three-part: physical, emotional, and mental. So we're going to carry ourselves through with a physical practice that's going to be both emotional and mental, so that we can connect with all aspects of ourselves through our breath. And we're going to do this slow and deep, from our hips through our heart up into our head, unlocking all 33 vertebrae, connected to all your organs, all your muscles, your entire fascial systems. This is yin yoga. Slow, gradual change in the right direction. Never underestimating the powerful changes that can occur with the little changes. So when you're ready, yogis, let's relax, release with one Brahmari. And as we Brahmari, I just want you to open up your hands once again. Deep breath in. Deep inhale, and exhale, sigh it out. Two more, deep breath in, and exhale, sigh it out. And one more, deepest breath in, and exhale, sigh it out. All right, yogis, when you're ready, let's start to sit up. And as we start to sit up, I want you to take that bolster behind you, and I want you to remove it, just out to the side today. Move it out to the side. I'd like you to lie flat on the ground. And as you lie flat on the ground, just connecting with the earth, bend your knees. Keep your feet on the ground, and just let your lumbar spine start to relax. Again, you're here for advanced yin yoga training. This is level 1. This is the 40-hour program. We will go deeper and deeper as time goes on through this program. So at the advanced level, we always take it from what we've learned, from where we began. So we always remember how we can begin again each and every practice. So we tilt the tailbone up and down. We roll it on the floor. So if you missed this class or didn't catch the video, right, watch me. I'm just tilting my tailbone up and down. Posterior, down. Anterior, up. Front and back. Front and back. And again, it's not quite bridge pose yet. You're just rolling it out. Breathing and being. 3 minutes on the clock. Deep breath in. And deeper breath out. In through nose, and out through mouth. Breath by breath. Breathing and being. Breathing and being. And as each minute goes by, we're rounding the first minute, you're going to notice a sensation growing. You're going to start to feel in your lower back where it is stuck. And you just keep rolling it out, up and down. And I've said to you many times before, this is that little bit of yang consciousness. Remember, yang is a consciousness. Okay? Yang is an energy. And this dollop of white is how we see through the yin. So again, doing this over and over and over again for 3 minutes is what is the yin of yang. Right? It is the yin of yang. Because the movement itself is yang in nature. But doing it over and over again, long and deep, with the breathing, stimulating that parasympathetic activity that actually exists at the back of your neck and at the base of your spine. That parasympathetic is what stimulates you to rest, relax, digest food. "30 more seconds, yogis. As you get that spine nice and long, just tilting tailbone up and down, moving as fast or slow as you like, and staying nice and long and steady with the breathing. In through nose. And out through mouth. In through nose. And out through mouth. Beautiful, yogis. That's been 3 minutes. So at this point now, what I want you to do is I want you to bring your heels a little bit closer to your hips. Good. I want you now to lift your tailbone all the way up in the air. I want you to relax your shoulders back. I want you to lift your arms up in the air. Over the top of your head, big out your hips. And then I want you to bring your hands back down to the ground. And again, imagine that your forearms are there to support you. And you're pushing yourself up through the hips. Again, you can readjust your feet, maybe a little bit more internal. Remember our language, adduction towards the center line, so the knees are moving inward, you're moving more towards the center line. Internal rotation of the hips, or external, abduction, away. And we're holding that bridge pose. You want to be able to make sure your fingertips can feel your heels. That's generally the right rule of thumb. If it's a little bit more, that's okay. But you don't want to be too far away. You want your fingers to feel your hips, your heels. And you can press into the ground as you lift up. And again, it's deep breath in and deeper breath out. Relaxing and releasing. And just think, keep pushing those hips up. We're halfway there, yogis. We're holding for 3 minutes. You're gonna start to feel hot. Maybe this is new for you. If you need to come down, that's okay. You can always come back up, but keep pushing up. Just keep persistently pushing up. You'll be surprised. You'll be able to do this. That's it. 1 more minute, yogis. You got this. Deep breath in. Deeper breath out. Relax. Releasing. In through nose. And out through mouth. 30 more seconds as you keep lifting up that tailbone, up, up, up into the bridge pose. I know it's getting hard, but you can do this. Just keep pushing up. Support your bridge. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Exhale down, relax, enjoy. And there it is, yogis. 3 minutes on the clock. You enjoy. Do anything you want. Remember, movement is medicine for the body. Stillness is medicine for the mind. Whether you're doing something or nothing, you're still getting your medicine. Just depends on what is feeling weak, or what is there a lack of. Your body's always trying to find balance. Maybe there's too much of something, right? It needs to release it out. So again, you're always in balance. The whole point of this practice, the whole point of this program is to deepen our balance through what we need. If I ran a vinyasa program, 40-hour, I would attract people who are attracted to yang. And we would be talking everything through the lens of yang. And of course, there would be some yang of yin, and yin of yang, like we're doing. We are working with the energies because you cannot have one without the other. But all of you in this room wouldn't be there. Maybe you would be because you love yoga and you want to study both sides. But usually we have a preference. Chocolate, vanilla. Being up high, being down low. Warm, cold. And so going with our preference is a great way to start. Or going with our weakness, which is going to be a future strength. And for me, my weakness has always been yin. I'm more yang in nature. I'm pitta, I'm fire. I like to burn bright. I like to move fast and quick and strong and steady. I like being off balance. I like extremes. But I need more yin in my life to balance that natural yang. And so maybe that's all of you. Maybe you are yang in nature, and that's why you're here. Or maybe you're more yin in nature, and this is your preference. Either way, it's just something to understand as you stretch it out. As you feel the connection, not just to the physical practice, but the more emotional and mental aspects of this practice. All right, yogis, that's been 3 minutes. When you're ready, come join me. You're gonna draw your knees into your chest, give yourself a nice squeeze now. And as we draw our knees into our chest, nice squeeze, we're gonna be here, this is our level 1. Open up your knees nice and wide, knees into chest. Rack out your head. Good. Being and breathing here. 3 minutes. Deep breath in. Deeper breath out. Tuck your chin. If you're having issues with your neck, if you're starting to feel sore, put the bolster underneath your neck. Right? So at this point, the other 2 poses shouldn't have been too much of a problem because with the bridge you push back, but in this pose we're going to be here for a while, so if you're feeling like your neck is bothering you for any reason, place that bolster underneath your neck. It's beautiful. You'll feel great. Might even help you go deeper into the posture. You always say it's always nice to have some supports. So again, open up those knees. Feel, feel, feel. As you relax, down, 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 onto the ground. Deep breath in, and deeper breath out. In through nose, and out through mouth. Feeling that nice flat back. Curl your toes, point your toes, stretch it out. 1.5 minutes to go. As you feel the energy, nose to toes. And Crown to tailbone. Stretching it out. Deep breath in. And deeper breath out. Little tiny micro movements to help you break through maybe that which is congested. As you relax, release. Down, 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 towards the ground. In through nose, long and strong through mouth. As we focus on releasing. Remember, whenever we're exhaling through the mouth, we're always focusing subconsciously on releasing. In our next posture, we're going to start to exhale through the nose, which is more about regulating the breath. Good, yogis. One Brahmari. Deep breath in. Keep holding the posture, deep breath in, and exhale out. Good, we're gonna keep going, 3 more minutes. Okay, this posture is just transforming. This is why you're here. This is stuff we can't do in class. Take your peace fingers, grab your big toes. And as you grab your big toes, that's level 1, right? Level 2, you grab the outsides of your feet from the inside of your legs. Okay, so this is level 1. So for some of you, just doing this, it's hard to even get your head down. So that's where you're gonna need to put that bolster behind your head. This is level 1. Right? We call this Spider-Man, right? So this is our Spider-Man position. Okay, so if you need the bolster, put it there. If you're good though, lay it out flat on the ground. Okay, level 2, whether you have your peace fingered toes or your outside edge, we're gonna open up into Happy Baby. Now, Happy Baby is where we take knees into the chest to the next level. So the next level is here. And what we're doing here, and you'll feel that your tailbone lifts up. You want to point that tailbone down to the ground. Elongation. Remember what Kent taught us, the anatomical language, like active, axial alignment. Right, this is what it's all about. 7th heaven, taking all 6 directions, forward, back, side to side, twisting into that 7th movement, which is elongation. So wherever we're grabbing, we're opening up the hips a little bit wider. Once again, abduction, away from the center line, away from the spine. And as you pull on your feet, your legs are perpendicular. You're imagining that your knees are going to come down to the ground. They will not, but you're imagining that. That's where energy comes in. Arms are straight. And again, the real secret to this posture is the ability to protract and retract your shoulder blades. So that ability of bringing your shoulder blades on the ground and bringing them kind of back and down. And that will help you kind of relax a little bit more from the lower back to the upper back. And again, wiggle it out as much as you can. Right? Feel, feel, feel. You're doing great, yogis. We've got 1 more minute. 1 more minute. Deep breath in. Deeper breath out. Relaxing down, down, down towards the ground. Breathing in me. In through nose. And let's switch it now out through nose. Starting to feel that regulation of the breath. In through nose. And out through nose. Starting to feel that regulation. As the posture holding gets harder, as we keep holding longer and longer. Beautiful. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Barometer to clear. Deep breath in. Inhale. Exhale, side out to release. Beautiful, yogis. 3 minutes on the clock. All right, squeeze, release, feel, feel, feel. Again, getting into a good way. And your way is the right way. So getting into a good way. Deep breath in. And deeper breath out. In through nose. And out through mouth. Because now you're releasing. Feeling the beautiful energy. One more minute. Feeling the strong effect. As you connect. Expanding. This whole practice is here to expand your intention for yourself into all aspects of your body and your mind. This is the power of magic, alchemy, miracles. It's the unseen, the yin. Beautiful, yogis. When you're ready, we're going into our next posture. This one's going to be a 5-minute hold. We're going to bring our knees into our chest. And as our knees are into our chest, we're going to prepare a few ways. So start with knees in the chest, and then I want you to release your arms side to side and flip the palms down. And then drop the knees down to the ground nice and slowly, so it's nice and natural. Try and find the edges of your mat, so the feet go to the edges of the mat. And we're gonna start to windshield wiper the knees side to side. First 3 minutes. And what you're gonna do is you're gonna look left as the knees go right. And you're gonna start to go right as the knees go left. Deep breath in, and deeper breath out. In through nose, and out through mouth. In through nose, and out through mouth. As you focus on releasing. And it's nice and easy. Now you might start to feel that lower back start to flex up, right? You want to be able to feel it kind of press down. And you kind of want to, as soon as you get into the halfway point, you want to push it slightly down and then let it relax out to the side. Right? Intentional movements. What is your intention, right? And move it through the body. Let it twist. And if your feet start to run away, just bring them a little bit closer too. And just lightly moving left and right, nice and slow, over and over. Breathing and breathing. Over and over. A minute and a half to go, yogis. You're doing great. Stay with it. You can feel us taking up that energy. Left and right. Left and right. 30 more seconds. That spine, side to side. Side to side. All right, yogis, that's been another 3 minutes. When you're ready, we're going to roll onto our left side. The reason why we roll onto our left side is to aid in digestion. So we do the left side first because our stomach is on our left side. So what we're gonna do now is roll over into a fetal position. So that's when the knees are stacked on top of each other. Again, nice and comfortable. It's almost like how you side sleep. Okay, so you just relax to the side. Again, for those who need the bolster, you can always use the bolster. Again, I'm gonna stop saying it over time. Remember, it's a support. You need support, it's there for you, right? Okay, if you don't need it, no worries. Well, if you're ready, take your left hand, place it on top as you stack the knees. Okay, so your knees are stacked, and as you hold them down, you'll notice as you twist, the knees will want to run away, so you don't want them to do that, you want to keep them together. So we start with our right hand onto our right hip, and we basically chicken wing our arm as we twist from our hand being on our hip, and we're looking over to the right side. Okay, so this is level one. So your hand will end up somewhere near your bum or on your lower back, and you're bringing your elbow to the ground. If you can't do that, then this is as far as you go. If you can do that, then you take it to the next level, which is extend your arm to about 7 o'clock. So 6 o'clock is at the base of your spine, 7 o'clock. Drop your shoulder. And if you can do that with your palm facing up, because we're gonna externally rotate the shoulder, we're gonna look over the right side. Again, this is where your knees will run away. Don't let them run away. And just like an underthrow, right? You throw something for someone to catch, right? Not a baseball throw, it's an underswing. You're gonna start to swing your arm upward, right? Right arm moves slowly, slowly, upward towards 90 degrees. Now, if you get it to 90 degrees, great. If you can go past 90 degrees, great. Not better, just great. It's wherever it is good for you. There'll be a point where your knees will want to run away from each other. There'll be a tension. That's your twist. Okay, yogis? Deep breath in. Deeper breath out. Want to reduce the tension? Drop the arm. You'll notice it. Again, find the comfortable place. And then slowly, slowly, breath by breath, move into the uncomfortable. Again, let yourself take your time. There's no rush. You're learning how to twist. So Vishal, lie down on your left side, stack your knees, and then level one, hand on hip, elbow down. If you can't do that, you're gonna stay here. Some people can't do that. Level two, you reach down to 7 o'clock, shoulder drops, and then you start moving up, 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 as high as you like. Again, now this is my area where my comfort meets my uncomfort. Why? Because my leg's trying to run away. So that's my tension. So I'm gonna keep my legs stacked, don't let them come apart, and I'm gonna slowly, slowly breathe and move into that area. Good? Beautiful, brother. Good, deep breath in. Deeper breath out. Feeling that twist. That's it. So Eric, same with you, brother. Eric, you're gonna roll on your left side. Stack the knees on the left side. And I think for you, it's gonna be hand on hip, elbow down towards the ground. You can't get the elbow down towards the ground by touching your hip or your rib cage. If you can't, then you're gonna stay here and breathe and keep looking over right shoulder. But if you can, extend the arm to 7 o'clock. Move it all the way up until you find the uncomfortable. And then you're breathing and being, transforming the uncomfortable into the comfortable. Breath by breath. All movement into this movement. Deep breath in and deeper breath out. Halfway there, yogis. Deep breath in and deeper breath out. In through nose and out through mouth. Good, yogis. We're reaching the 3-minute marker. At this point, if you'd like to go a little bit deeper, you can. So for those who want to go a little bit deeper, back off the arm, roll back onto your left side, take your bottom leg and cross it over your top leg. So now your bottom leg becomes your arm. Again, start again. 7 o'clock, the arm, and start to move it through. Again, a little bit more deep. And it's always nice to go deeper throughout the posture. Okay, just don't start at your maximum. Go slowly. Go slowly. Even though I can do it, it's nice to kind of chill in the shallow end before you go into the deep end. Right? Think of the difference between yin and yang. Yin is you start on the stairs, you walk into the pool, and you gradually walk out into the deep end and start swimming. Yang is you go to the other end of the pool, you dive in. Right? You touch the bottom, and then you come up and you walk out of the pool. See? Yin, yang. Figure 8. And you can see how the two are exactly same but different. And that's why they swirl each other, because the yang eventually becomes the yin. That's why they say absolute power corrupts absolutely. What's the corruption? That's the yin, right? It's taking it away. No one is immortal. Take it down. So they say the higher you fly, or the higher you go, the further you can fall. That's yin and yang. As we learned from the Sphinx's riddle, the immovable object, yin, meets the unstoppable force, yang. What happens when the two meet? Surrender. Yoga. Da. Good, yogis. That's been 5 minutes. Let's take a deep breath in and Brahmari to clear. Deep breath in. Inhale. Exhale, sigh it out. Good, yogis. Relax onto your left side. And just spend a minute on your left side. Don't do anything more than that. You can lie your left ear on your bicep. Again, just get nice and cozy and comfortable. Nice and cozy and comfortable. Just relax. Just 1 minute, just lying on our side. Little tiny movements. Let the twist relax. Just like any good story, right? The twist needs a moment to set in. Whenever there's a twist in a story or twist in a movie. It takes a moment to set it, right? There's the shock, there's a wow, and then it's like, I get it. There's the surprise, and then you get it. Just giving it a minute to get it. What we just did there. All right, excellent, yogis. Let's roll over onto our right side now. And as we roll over onto our right side now, get nice and easy. Right? Find that flow. Stack the knees. Curl in. Get nice and cozy. Right hand on top of the left knee. You start nice and slow. Left hand on the hip or the rib cage. First thing, like a chicken wing, you start rolling over. Bring your elbow to the ground. If you can bring your elbow to the ground, then you need to extend the arm. Don't extend the arm until you get the elbow to the ground. Right, you're twisting. If your neck is hurting, put the bolster underneath it. From here, what do? The elbows to the ground, extend the arm out to 7 o'clock, well, in this case, 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock. Think of it as a clock, 5 o'clock, 6 being your tailbone. Due south. And then you start to extend your arm out. And as you start to extend your arm out, that's where you start to find the uncomfortable. Wherever that is for you. We're gonna do the first 3 minutes like this. And then at the 3-minute marker, if you'd like to cross your bottom leg, more than fine to do that. All right, yogis? Deep breath in, deeper breath up. In through nose, and long and strong through mouth. In through nose, and long and strong through mouth. Remember to keep stacking the knees. Don't go beyond that point. Knees stay stacked. Learning how to twist. Finding the uncomfortable. Finding that space and then breathing through it. And noticing by 30 seconds, by another minute, you're able to go a little higher, a little deeper. And rather than forcing your way and trying to fix it, that's yang. Follow the yin energy. Chill. Slowly, slowly. Gentle. It's the journey, not the destination. Our journey is through yin. Good. 30 more seconds. And then you're going to decide whether you want to cross that leg. If you do, you have to roll all the way over and come back into the posture. So when you're ready, yogis, this is the 3-minute marker. If you would like to continue just doing what you're doing, please do. But if you'd like to go a little deeper, take the bottom leg, roll back over, cross it over your top leg, place the hand back on there, start at the hip, roll over, elbow, and then extend out. more minutes. Breathing and being. In through nose. Now through mouth. Final minute. Deeper and deeper. Breath by breath. When you're ready, yogis, one Brahmari to clear. It's been 5 minutes. Deep breath in. Inhale. Exhale. All right, let's untwist. Roll over on your right side. Just spend a minute. Stay on your right side. Ground it. Right side. 1 minute. Just be chill. Just be still. Less is more. Let it relax. Everything settle. Let everything mellow. Deep breath in. Deeper breath out. In through nose and out through mouth. All right, yogis, it's been another minute. We're going to come up. And as we come up into our comfortable seated position, we're going to bring our arms side to side. As we bring our arms from side to side, I want you to bring your feet nice and wide. I want you just to rock from side to side. So legs nice and wide. Deep breath in. And deeper breath out. Bringing one knee down. And the other knee down. So Adam, try and open up your legs a little bit wider, brother. Try and go wider. That's it. So you can drop the knee all the way down to the floor. Yeah. Then you get the stretch all the way into the kidneys, rib cage. And then try looking in opposite direction. So I'm rotating from side to side. Good to see you, Master Kent. Side to side. All right, so again, this is priming. We always do these kind of warm-up like movements to prime the spine, kind of showing it, like I always say, it's like telling it where it's gonna go before it goes there, so it's easier to get there. If you just drop it in, again, I've been to classes where they do that, it's good, but it's not great. That's why a lot of you like my classes. I have all these like little tiny secret little extra things. Again, never underestimate the little differences that make the big changes over time. Why you really like it, okay? All right, when you're ready, watch me. we go on to left side. Why? Because left side aids digestion, right? So right knee down, left foot, left knee, and we bring our hand to our hip and we start to rock our hips side to side. So Sue, watch me, I'm here. Yep, watch me. Open up your legs, good. So because we're opposite each other, which way is your left hand? Good, so you're gonna roll that way. Okay, so you're gonna go that way and take your right hand and now place it on your hip. There you go. Awesome. Don't worry, yoga dyslexia affects us all. The secret to yoga is look around the room. This is the one place where it's like you want to do what everyone else is pretty much doing. If you're the one not doing it, trust me, it's probably not them, it's you. We call it like the law of large numbers, right, in statistics. So again, if you were to take the whole group, it's pretty much the average. But again, like we say, yoga dyslexia affects us all, so not to worry. Just means you're out of mind and less labels, and that's exactly the space you want to be in. So does it really matter left and right? Not really, but it is nice to always kind of go left to right. And you notice on my shirt, what's on the left side, that's the yin, right? And what's on the right side, the yang, right? What are we in society more dominant as? When we catch balls, right? The right side, we kick something, right side. So that's the yang, right? So what, left-handers, right? More rare than right-handers, right? So it's just funny to see how these parallels kind of connect. Beautiful, so we're just massaging out the hip. Last week we worked the hip a lot, so we're gonna revisit this consciousness. And again, these classes are available to you, online, so you might wanna go through the practices again. So you might do day one and not have to wait a week. You can go right to day 2 the next day, and if you're on vacation, do day 3 the next day. And so again, you can get the practice all the way through, because the practices all connect as we keep going higher, from the hips, through the heart, up into the head. So there's always an aspect of what we did, and then where we're going. All right, beautiful. So when you're ready, now we're gonna go into our twist once again. So now, this is my favorite twist. This is deer pose, and we're gonna go into the twist. So you're gonna take your right hand towards the edges of the mat, left hand towards the other edge of the mat. Grab the clock. Good. All right, stay with me. You're going to keep your arms straight. Remember, this is the long frame, so we're using our skeleton to hold us up, and we're twisting, looking over that left shoulder. Okay? You can rock out that hip ever so slightly, just a little bit. Imagine it kind of like a cat-cow. The problem is, which is not a problem, you're twisting. So there's not as much motion, but that little bit of movement is going to go a really long way. So you'll feel it. So I like to move and groove in the first minute of my deer. I like to focus on the healing. Focus on the feeling. Rocking it out side to side. This is one of the best things to do for your lower back. If you got lower back issues, deer pose. If you ever go to Yoga Trivial Pursuit and they ever ask you what's Petroyama's favorite posture, if you answer deer, you will be correct. I love deer pose. Deer pose for me is like the Swiss Army knife of poses. Like there's so much you can do here. All right, so that's been our first minute. That kind of primes it once again. There's that priming part, a little bit of micro movement. So now you get to choose. You don't have to do anything. Just stay, take your right hand, bring it a little bit closer to the other edge. Left hand over and you twist it a little more. Okay, how much you twist, that's totally up to you. So if you twist too much, come back, right? But what I want you to experience is arm straight twisting, right? We're always kind of dropping. We don't need to drop, right? We can hold. You can stay yinful. The long frame. The long frame gets underappreciated. The more I keep practicing yin yoga, the more I actually prefer long frames than lying down on the ground. Okay, so again, over the next minute, as you breathe and be, you can continue to walk those hands a little bit further as you twist more and more. And this is why deer pose, out of all the twists, from lying down to sitting,
to standing, to balancing on one foot while twisting, this is the deepest. You can get the most rotation in your spine here in deer pose. 30 more seconds. It's very powerful. Deep breath in. Deeper breath out. Breathing in B. Okay, listen. One brow meridian to clear. Deep breath in. Inhale. Exhale. Beautiful. Coming back. Watch me. As I come back, it's going to be tough, but watch. I find that knee, or I find the shin, and I lie down. Wherever's comfortable, your body will tell you. And as some of you know, this is a way we take pigeon pose. So Sue, right over here, honey. Right over your knee. Don't get up, don't get up. Just keep lying on your side. Yeah, that's it. And just find your knee. There you go. Yep, just like that. You can take the bolster with you if you want to cuddle with it. You want to have a buddy. Take your support. Take your little person here. Cuddle up with them. All right, breathe and be. Just relax. Just for a minute. Just relax for a minute. Deep breath in, deeper breath out. And again, you'll just feel everything mellow and settle. Just let everything mellow and settle. One more brow meridian to clear. Deep breath in. Deep breath in. Exhale, side out. All right, coming up. So when you come up now, roll over onto the other side. Again, keep the feet nice and wide. Roll on over to the other side. Left knee underneath right sole of the foot. Again, Alex's favorite posture. Restart the clock. Left hand on one edge, right hand on the other edge. Keep it nice and neutral for now. Now you know where we're going, so it gets deeper over time. And then rocking it out. Rocking it out. And again, I can already hear it with some of you. So for some of you, like your teacher, this is going to be your favorite posture because you, like me, have the same problem. Weak lower back, right? So weak lower back allows you now to strengthen it, to lengthen it, to move through those soft areas in the lower back. So my upper body has overcompensated for my lower body over the years. And again, this is not something I wanted to happen, it just happened over time. So in my 30s was when I really started to shift the focus. Start doing more yoga than martial arts, start focusing more on healing than collecting certifications and doing all sorts of other programs. So again, allowing yourself to get into it. Good. Now we go for the posture, 3 minutes. So extend that left hand maybe to the middle of the mat, right extends a little further. Again, just a little bit more. But again, you're going for twist now. So again, little tiny movements, you don't need much. Deep breath in. Deeper breath out. relax and release. As you relax and release. And again, some of you are quite far out. You might want to walk your hands in a little bit. Lift yourself up. That's it, Eric. That's right, brother. Good. Feel that energy. Again, long and strong. This is why a lot of you who said, you know, that you couldn't take the program all the way through, just imagine if you didn't get this lesson right now, this teaching. I mean, this could change everything for you. This is that little difference that's going to make the big change over time. So again, learning these aspects of the practice that just can't be taught in an hour. We just don't have enough time. It's like trying to make a main course out of appetizers, right? The 1 hour practice now for you, which was a main course, is now will become an appetizer. Unfortunately, you've ruined it for yourself. That being said, it's nice to be able to eat an app and a main, I always say. You know, if your appetite can only take appetizers, you know, it's like being undernourished, right? Not a bad thing, just saying, not judgment, just an analogy, just a metaphor, but it's nice to have the appetizer and go to the main course, if you can afford it, right? Not everyone can afford it. That's okay too. And then we'll move on to dessert, because you can always have space for dessert, right? And so that's the consciousness of yoga, right? You don't have to do more, right? We're still doing here, right? We're still doing postures, doing breathing. There'll be a point where you won't have to do anymore, and that's dessert. There's always room for dessert, even when you're full, right? So you don't have to eat like it eats itself. Good, yogis. That's been our 3 minutes. Let's Brahmari to clear. Deep breath in. Inhale. Exhale, sigh it out. Beautiful. Untwist. Remember, it's a natural position. It's either over the knee or over the shin. Just walk it out and relax. Down, down, down towards the ground. Again, learn to listen to your body. Again, I'm helping you through the journey. I've been through it. But to each their own, right? What's right for you might be wrong for everybody else. And what you learn in yin yoga is that's okay. Again, 2 rules. And I say this and it sounds like I'm saying you can do anything you want. No, because there's 2 rules to this, right? The yin and the yang. You're not a harm to yourself, and you're not a harm to anyone else. Ahimsa. As long as you're not a harm to yourself or anyone else, you can do anything you want. So can I do anything? Yeah, you can do anything that doesn't cause harm to yourself or to another. And that's the secret to life. And that's the secret to being a good yin student, a good yoga student, a good yoga teacher. So many yoga classes, not yoga classes, cause so much harm. Because it's jump and pump yoga, which isn't really yoga. I've told you many stories where I was injured in yoga, not doing yoga. It's the only time I ever got injured. Because I wanted to do it, because I was competing. I was looking around the room, seeing what other people were doing. So I was a harm to myself. But when I became a teacher, I never did that. I never ever pushed people. I never ever made them believe that they should do something or could do something. And it was always giving them permission. You can be encouraged, you can be inspired, but if you don't want to do it, you don't have to do it. And that's rare in our world. All right, yogis, 1 Brahmari to clear. Deep breath in. Inhale. Exhale, slide out. Amazing. Slowly coming up. Beautiful. All right on time. So good, we had a great twist there. So again, just relax, release. Let's windshield wiper those knees. 1 more minute, side to side. Just feeling the power of the twist. Good, feel. Moving the energy. All right, yogis, when you're ready, open up your legs. If you like a bolster underneath your knees, you can. Let's lie them flat on the ground. Let's finish up, final Pasana, Shavasana. Let's relax it out. Let's squeeze our glutes, squeeze our face, squeeze our hands, let everything allow, everything land. Just down onto the ground. As we expand that intention throughout the practice. Letting it all go. Allowing it to flow. Deep breath in. Deeper breath out. Nice and sweet. Nice and long. Nice and strong. Through nose, and long and strong through mouth. Connecting with our meaning, connecting with our being. As you ground yourself and connect with this moment, as we relax and release. Let's remember the intention. Let's remember the intention as we let it flow and let it go for the next 10 minutes. Resting and releasing. Resting and releasing. Down, down, down. Towards the ground.
So welcome everyone, day 3, letting go, letting be. We had a beautiful practice. How's everyone feel about the practice? Yes, yes, yes. Good practice, right? Yes, good practice. So what was good about the practice, right? So what happened today was we took the concepts from last class and we went a little bit more. So you might say, oh, I like this class more. But what this class was doing was just going a little bit further up your spine. So maybe on a physical level, you like this class more because that's your, like an animal, that's your sweet spot. That's where you like to get rubbed, right? And that's what twisting is, right? It's higher up towards the heart. So in yin, everything is grounded, right? So the first thing we always do is get grounded. Whether we're teaching yin or doing yin, right, we get grounded. So the practice started with that. And today I really focused on intention, right? And we all had that experience today with the intention, which was super, super beautiful. And that intention is gonna now, from that grounded experience, is gonna start to grow. So the spine, right, is your trunk, and then it's gonna grow, grow, grow. And as it grows, right, it's gonna give. So day 3 is the gift, right? So we move from the seed sprouts into the hips, right? And the hips now we're moving up into the heart. And there's literally every day when you wake up, you can feel this. And that's where people always ask me, how do you do what you do and why you do what you do? It's because the hips, this is where the structural complexity is. So there's lots of bones here in your hips. And there's not really a lot of bones here in your belly. A lot of organs, but not a lot of bones. And then there's a lot of bones here. Do you know why bones are in certain places? Right? Bones are in certain places to protect us, to make sure the things that matter the most can function all the time without us interfering with it, right? They protect themselves. So this whole program is designed for you to understand what it is so we can help it. We can support it. Just like the bolster supports your back, these postures are supporting you through this journey. As we move last week from the hips and now this week into the heart. So as we move into the heart, that's where we start to center ourselves and grow. And so what we're gonna do now today is we're gonna work on posturing. We're gonna really figure out what this twisting thing is all about, because when I looked around the room, I wanted to come help out and Kent wasn't here yet. So I'm like, great, this is gonna be our lesson today. Hands on, let's get into it, working with the energy. Hi guys, I think you're looking for this room. That's it, no problem, no problem. So we're gonna get into it with the twist. So one of the nice things about twisting is that if you imagine the spine, right? It's inside you, right? Because you imagine your spine. This ability to twist comes from the hips. So if your hips are locked, right? If your hips are locked, it's hard to twist. So that's why we started with the hips. In today's class, as you noticed, we opened up the hips and then we moved toward the heart. So it's like pay attention and grow and expand into here. And then we come back down, back to the hips and back to the heart. And it's kind of like this ping pong thing where you're moving the energy hips to heart. For the women in the room, women, the center for you is your hips. This is your center. So when you feel your power center, it's your hips. For the men in the room, our hips are not our center. Shoulders are our center. Shoulders are our center. So we feel it more in our shoulders. So this is the concept of why there's, right? And men have broad shoulders and women have strong hip. Again, birth, children, all sorts of reasons why. But I want you to understand, just as a center point in your body, if you identify with, the masculine, the feminine, that's an energy. But what we're talking about is like the center point for a male's body and the center point for a female's body in yogic terms. Women, it's hips. That's your center point. Men, it's shoulders. And that's why a lot of the asanas that came about from the old age into the new age has been constantly being transformed because it was all men. So a lot of the chaturangas, all the narrow movements, and Kent's going to talk about this as we continue, all this narrow thing is for a narrow sacrum. It's for small hips. Like if you look at my sacrum, Kelly, come up here. What's this? High priest, high priestess. Let's go, it's so funny. So there's these two bones back here. Kent, you can describe this too, if you want to talk about this a little bit.
Sure, so we're looking at the base of the spine. So in reference to what we're talking about, we've got two very different beings here, operating with the same structures, just taking on different force and different load in relationship to gravity.
So there's hers.
So to Alex's point, the idea of being very narrow and linear the breakdown of a very male-dominated sort of yogic practice, it's really easy for men to operate in this linear fashion because there's no width going on. Whereas in the female form, you're often going to find more power laterally, which means there's a lot more potential for power to be held there and stability and control. There's also, with all that room, means that much more need for strength and support. So a lot of women will have better flexibility, better range within these areas compared to men, but they have to put that much more attention to detail in actually housing and containing those structures. Whereas little boy pelvises like me and Alex, it's quite linear. We're actually kind of designed for the more straightforward things. If you think about it, the big idea, like if you want to look at the true like sexed sort of mechanics, running is probably the best example of this. If you've got a narrow pelvis, and if you look at the vast majority of high-end runners, female and male, they are going to have these very narrow pelvises because it's the mechanic of swinging at the very base of their sacrum, the base of their spine in relationship to their hips, that allows them to be efficient in that mechanic. You broaden that structure out, you make it a lot harder for that swing to be energetically efficient. But those people can do incredible things in wider, more expressive ranges. Hockey, probably, like we're talking about skating, you want wide hips, you want a big base because you got to draw power from rotation, larger expressions of range out here where you need to govern power, as opposed to going straight forward in propulsion in running. So there's pros and cons to all of these things. Everyone has their own unique way of interpreting and engaging with physics and gravity in order to move their bodies. But to the point that he's making about sort of like the yoga sort of centric thought of women being in the pelvic area, men being higher up at the chain in shoulders, for instance, you can understand the intention as to why you want to evolve a practice like yoga to meet more of the demographic and the audiences that are approaching it. And if we're honest, that is mostly going to be women in a North American yoga market. And it's about time that we spend more time approaching what is necessary for everybody to meet the different practices, the different postures in their own way, because you can't just ask someone who doesn't have developed upper body to just jump into something that was developed for a 14-year-old Indian boy. That's not fair. That's not going to have great results unless you do baseline structural strengthening to make it accessible, and vice versa. You can't take someone like myself, my own journey in yoga, you can't throw me into splits. It's not going to work. You can't throw me into widespread positions. Goddess pose, like I look like I'm sitting on a chair. Like it's not the same. But that doesn't mean that's not something you should challenge and create, yin, yang. All of these dichotomies are rooted within trying to find balance within what you are to make the most of what you can be. So I think we'll step on to the next thing, which is to go up from the root into the spine for rotation.
Yeah, absolutely. So this is what we keep saying. So at the end of the day, all of this leads to surrender, right? All this knowledge is great, but it has to lead to an experience. And you all had a beautiful experience today. And that's why I said this experience, all I did was, again, these are the Coles notes, right? This is like for those who are wondering, like, why was this class so special? Why was it different than last? I love last class, but why was this one different than that one? All I did was sprinkle a little bit of twisting. And then when I was sprinkling a little bit of twisting, Ken said rotation, by sprinkling that rotation, we already worked the hips so much last week with the pigeon pose. And when you take that deep, deep hip stretch and then you go into a twist, it's almost like what we talked about as the philosophical concept, contraction, expansion. You're taking it, you're pushing it down, you're grounding it, and then you're expanding it outward. So the twist allows you to open up. The twist allows you to move the energy in a very different way. And it's very, very beautiful, and it's very, very connected to your breath and to your organs and to your spine, and it's all connected here at the solar plex, and that's where really the rotation happens. So I'm very excited to kind of go into today with this, and we're going to look at some postures and we're going to work with each other. But I first want to really get into the deep dive of why it is the heart, okay? And this is the important part. So I'm going to get Kent to be my yogi. He's going to lie down. He's going to come into a fetal position on the left side. Why left side? Yeah. So if you ever have like a rumbly in your tumbly, lie on your left side. Ever ate too big of a meal? Lie on your left side. Okay? Why? Gravity. Right? And then after 15 minutes, you roll over and you send all that energy over to the other side. Anyone who does my restorative class, that's exactly what we do. It's an ebb and flow. So, he's on the left side. So we're gonna start with just a simple concept of what twisting is. Again, remember, all of this is conceptual because I want you to take it with your partners, explore a different person's body, because again, working with someone else, working with a friend, working with someone in the room, you start to learn more about yourself by working with someone else, right? Because again, we're mirrors to each other. We're here to help each other. So again, you're not here to do anything more than to learn this for yourself, but by doing it to someone else and having someone else do it to you, you're gonna understand how it works. And once you understand how it works, you can just keep expanding and getting more knowledge into your experience, okay? So that's why I like to teach hands-on, show, don't tell, and experience it for yourself kind of a method, okay? So first things first, he's in a fetal position. So when it comes to twisting, you gotta remember the spine like is in, a neutral position, a little bit of flexion here, flexion being right. It's in forward fold because he's kind of curled up. And so what do we want to do? We want to open him up. That's what the twist is, right? Just like any good story, you put a twist in the story to open up the story. That's the twist, right? And if the twist is too intense, the audience doesn't get it. But if the twist is just right, it's perfect. It's just like with yoga. So this is why I'm one of the few teachers that, I was taught to go this way with the arm. I don't do that. Like I have a whole method that you experience today, and we'll go through why I do it. So we start here, fetal position, baby Atreyu, in Paolo's belly, like he's just hanging out. This is the fetal position. Like this is just like A1. Okay, so where is he gonna be as a yogi? I hope you're listening, Atreyu, okay? So here we go. So what he's gonna do now, you see how he's supporting his head? Because again, the neck doesn't like that. So I'm gonna just make his life a whole lot easier and just do that. I don't know why we don't like supports, or we feel like, I don't need blocks and objects. I can touch the ground myself, It's like this machismo needs to go, right? Your ego's your amigo. Don't be okay with not being okay, okay? And asking for help is okay. Okay, so here we are. So he's cool now. I know he's comfortable. That's great. Why? Because in yin, we take what's comfortable wherever we are, on any day, on any moment present. And whenever we're comfortable, we start to move into the uncomfortable, which is technically the yang, right? So yin is comfortable, yang is uncomfortable, right? So now we move into the uncomfortable. We start with the hand on the hip. Why do we start on the hand on the hip? Because this is going to allow him to externally rotate that shoulder, right? Open up, right? This is what we call opening up, okay? So as he opens up, he's going to start to twist. So before he does anything, he can twist from here. So Kent, just look over at the other side. So there's a twist. That's a twist, right? It's as simple as that. He's already twisting. That's why I say you can teach yoga to anyone. If you really know what yoga is, you can teach it to anyone. So he's twisting right now. This is great. And if he starts breathing, he's doing yoga. He's already breathing, but if we connect him with the breath, even better. Okay, so where do we go from here? left hand onto right knee. Why? Because this is a great indicator of how the intensity of the twist is. So no one taught me this one, I learned this one on my own. When I was doing my practice, as I was like forcing it, whatever, it's been 18 years now, so I kind of get it. But basically what happens is, you know when you're going too far into the unknown, even though you're like, I know this place, I'm fine with it. You know you're not if this knee starts to move up. Because this knee shouldn't have to move up, right? It's relaxed here. Why would it move up? We want the twist to come from the base all the way through to the crown. What do we say? Comfortable, comfortable, comfortable. So if the knee moves, we just broke our first rule. Now we're uncomfortable. Now it's this. So now let's pretend we're fighting. Now I can hit him in the balls, you know? Now he's not safe. Now I can't, right? So he's defending himself. In martial arts, this is how we learn. In martial arts, this is how we learn. We learn from, oh, that's why I put my knees together, because I don't want to get hit there. Right? So in martial arts, you learn to do this all the time, right? So this is why I say to you, he's comfortable here. He started like this. So why, if he's twisting, if his knees go apart, why would he sacrifice that for this? You see? You see? And this is what we need to remember when we're doing posturing. This is where I came up with this line. We never break posture to get into posture. If you want to write that one down, it's a gem. We never break posture to get into posture. Even me, I've been on a long journey toward handstand. I will not break my posture to get into that posture. I will not jump into handstand. Until I can float up, I don't even do it. You know what I mean? It's like, it's a slow, gradual journey. But it's like, well, let's remember this. We never break posture to get into posture, okay? So now he's here. He's comfortable, legs are here. So now, like I said during the practice, the first thing we did was from here to here. Now, I have a student in their 80s who can't do this. Like, his elbow will not touch the ground. Everyone here was pretty good, I think. Eric, you were good, you could touch the elbow too? Yeah. So this only is really for very stiff people. We're talking like our dads. Let's call them our dads, okay? Our dads are very stiff people, grandpas. These people can't do this. So this is all the twisting they can do. That's great. This is their twist. This is a great, great energy. For the rest of us though, palm open, right? Receiving, palm down, releasing, palm open, receiving. We stack the knees, and then we start to move like a clock, right? So we start to move like a clock. And as we move like a clock, yeah, see, I can see what's happening internally. He knows it too. So I hope you felt it. But as you can feel it, there's a moment where I know if I keep lifting his arm, his leg's gonna start to move. And you know why? Because we're doing too much up here, and it's affecting down there. So what's happening is we're good. Tell me, Kent, when it starts to happen. We're good.
Yep, that's your spot.
There's your spot. So at this point now in the tension, his knee wants to start popping up. So now he can push it down with the weight of his hand, and he can explore this region and try and relax it. That's his indicator, okay? So now he's working that energy because he doesn't want to make it uncomfortable for himself. Because you're all yin yogis, this is what I need to get you through this. Yin yoga is a comfortable practice. You all are always comfortable, no matter how long I teach, you're always comfortable. When you go to a bad yin class, it's because you're uncomfortable. You see? They make you uncomfortable, or you're making yourself uncomfortable in the class. Yin is comfort. You have to be comfortable the whole time. Even us, last week. Every week we change, we get better and better and better. Why? Got to keep taking that, whatever's uncomfortable, making it comfortable. Bring it back. It's all about comfort. So now he hangs out here. After a while, let's say we said at 3 minutes, now what happens? Right, like we said, well, we can cross the leg on top of each other. So now he'll keep his hand exactly where it is. Should he force himself to cross his legs? He could, but to now cross his leg, that's going to create a lot of riff in his body. So what did I say to all of you? Let's roll back. Let's cross the bottom leg over the top leg. Now that becomes the hand, so you don't technically need the hand. It's brought in more space because now his hip is dropping more towards the ground. And I was going to do exactly what we did before. Now keep going again, Kent, on your own. Just doing the same thing, 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock, see? See, now we can explore it even more so. And do you feel more?
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. And then there's one more level, not our concern, but you can eagle your legs. You can just keep twisting, right? But ultimately, at the end of the day, you're just trying to get the deepest twist you can get because you want to get into the multifidus muscles. You want to get into the muscles of the spine, all these little muscles in the spine, right? The deep spinal muscles. Get into the discs, get into the energy of your spine. Because it's twisting each and every vertebrae. And that's why the head's important, because you're not really twisting it unless you're twisting through all the way. Okay? So, for you, we're going to break off into groups in a second. I'm going to finish my part, and then Kent's going to do the same thing and kind of talk to you, and then we'll break off into groups. But what I want to see, actually, we'll get you to talk first. You talk first, and then I'll tell them what I want them to do.
Do you want to go in this position for me?
I can go in this one, or I can go on the other side.
Yeah, go on the other.
Yeah, I'll do it this way. So let's see.
So, in reference, so we're gonna just have Alex be here. I might actually here go back to the hand in. So go back to your position, just hand in. So something I want to point out. It's easy to use mechanical leverage to keep this leg down and to have that observational feedback of that leg wanting to lift, to find your limit when you're raising your arm up. The thing that you have to understand about the way that rotation works is your ribs and your spine are interconnected to each other. Every section of your vertebrae has two corresponding ribs running out the bottom in between that vertebrae and the one directly below it. So if there's an issue in a rib or there's an issue in a vertebrae, it's going to affect the other structure. So if you run into a bumpy bit along the road here to Alex starts to explore, places his arm out, and you notice that you're having a hard time getting to a space, or there's like basically a break in the chain of where that rotation is happening. So let's say it's right in this area. The biggest thing to do, and to Alex's point, and this is where like I might disagree with him ever so slightly, is we do want to be comfortable, but you have to understand the difference between types of sensation. There's that sharp stabbing pain.
Very good.
Right? And that is like your body sending alarm signals that something is immediately being compressed and there's something wrong. Listen to that, but you can also learn to challenge what that represents to you, because say that comes from an injury. You are most likely in a feedback loop where that sensation is on a hairline trigger or it is expanded beyond the actual magnitude of the problem in that moment. So it's worth dialing back a bit. So say it was right there for him. If he found that space to be uncomfortable, he could dial that back, breathe deeply into the space that was triggering that response, wait for that to soften, and then explore the intensity again. And what you're doing there is you're going through incremental stages of challenging your nervous system's interpretation of an experience. What's important about this, and this is where I would disagree with Alex ever so slightly, just because we're talking about ribs and only ribs, is ribs are little babies. They are the smallest little muscles, the muscles that tell you about your ribs. They're called your intercostals. They run in between every single one of them. And they got ones on the outside, one on the inside. They help you expand in inhalation. They help you contract in exhalation. They have the smallest interpretation of the world you can imagine. So when anything happens to them, they freak out. And so often you will find that you will just hit a spot and your body will feel like you are being stabbed. That is not you being stabbed. That is literally this little muscle freaking out and trying to make sense of its little world, which is I go from here and I go all the way to here along this road. And it makes up a false sensation from one end of the muscle to the other, which feels like a stabbing. Now, this is a drama queen, okay? We do not need to listen to this thing, because if we did, we would end up being little babushkas on shopping carts, and we would never get anywhere in life, okay? So when it comes to sensation, understand what you're up against. When it comes to a sharp stabbing pain in your elbow, your knee, your wrist, pay attention to those things. These are very sensory accurate places in your body. Yes, they can be augmented by trauma and experience, but they are usually going to be telling you a pretty clear story. Your ribs are just looking for attention, and they don't get a lot of attention because this is your as he was saying, this is how we protect ourselves, our vital organs, our lungs, our heart, right? They don't want to be expressive, vulnerable, and open, right? We have to teach them to be there. We have to empower ourselves to be in those spaces. So it's important to use the sensation of ribs, in twisting in particular, to explore what's possible within a spine. I know that's a lot, but it's something to start exploring and understanding, because anytime you go through a rotation posture, you're granting yourself an opportunity to challenge where you are with your ribs. Find the things that suck, spend time there. Challenge if you have to dial back a little bit, wait for that little door to open and see if you can walk through it. And eventually you'll be able to get higher and higher and higher. There's one last cue that I will offer. In this situation, he eventually had us shift with the one knee over the other in order to create the block that our hand is providing right here. The benefit of this is now he can open up his opposite arm. So when we internally rotate our shoulders, we actually close off the top third of our rib cage to movement. When we externally rotate our shoulders, if you do it right now, externally rotate, notice how you feel your shoulder blade basically punch into the back of your ribs halfway up. Do you feel that sort of like tweaky sensation halfway through your ribs? Yeah, so what that's doing is actually opening and exposing you in extension. So if we're in flexion, we don't do a lot of really great rotation. If we're in extension, we have so much more room to explore and expand. So it makes sense, the angle and rotation of your shoulder is going to allow you to have more or less space. So the more open both shoulders can be, the more potential there is for the movement of his ribs to soften and allow for that rotation to happen. So always be mindful of why you're doing something. If someone asks you to go into a bind position, which I would even say that at the beginning of this, having the opposite hand on the knee is a small format of a bind in order to create control. That is going to close off the potential for movement in the upper third of the rib cage. If you flipped that hand, you would get even more range. Harder to do because pushing down with your palm is easier than pushing down with the back of your hand. So operate with intention. If you get to a spot where you're at the end of everything and you've pushed down, and you're like, okay, my knee's not going anywhere. Oh, wait a minute. I can breathe easier if I just open my hand. Now see if your body has the room to now open to the next step. And I'll go around and I'll ask you to do this, because it's good to go through, like, the process that Alex created for us is very safe, and it allows you to go one step at a time. But as soon as you get to an end range, remember that external rotation is the last opportunity to create even more room just in the shape of your body. Then the rest is up to the movement of your body, which is the freedom and ease for your ribs to move. So there's more we can talk about, and we'll get into it, but that's what I wanted to highlight.
Beautiful, brother.
Yes, please.
A question with it. So I'm drawing conclusions within my life and everything. You would almost say that like yoga is, I guess I'm just getting the idea that like therapy, which is like cognitive behavioral therapy or other stuff, it's like living within a trauma and studying that within your mind. This is more so a sense of like physical therapy, and that's what makes up living within a trauma in your bones and stuff, and explore the tension between that and everything. So your mind is almost connected in the same way.
The relationship.
Yeah, and for the people who are just hearing this, and to relate to your questions, like the idea of having a trauma feedback from the mental to the physical and vice versa is really important to understand that your body will always shelter to the safest format of function in both scenarios. And until you can be granted the opportunity in the room to explore what it's like to safely challenge that, you will often default back into that pattern of safety. And so we always want the best expression ever from like physiotherapy is safety learning. I brought it up in the first class. Trying to interpret something gradually in a safe manner allows you to push your frontier, push your edge of what you can handle. And so in a lot of like cognitive therapy, you will often see people challenging something that is a direct sort of representation of their trauma, and they're trying to approach it hopefully slowly, and for some modalities they'll try to get it all at once, but the idea is to see how the body responds, see how the brain responds, and then pattern out a method that you can then approach it in a safe, gradual manner where the person can confront and basically like step to those incidences, to those triggers with confidence and control, so that when it does come up in their life, even if it's the smallest little trigger, they're not immediately set off into the largest pattern of pain and trauma response. Does that answer your question? It just yeah, you will see the markers, like the way that we deal with physical rehabilitation. One, you can't separate it from the mental. Like your perception of your body is basically a route to your agency in your own life. So like, I'm not doing a very good job helping someone if I'm not also aware of their mental and emotional stressors, and vice versa. Like, I work with a lot of therapists who will ask me to approach their patients in a manner where you are trying to facilitate a physical comfort within a response that's a manifestation of their mental emotional stress. Right? And so we will often encounter these things, like we close off through our chest as a means of approaching a sense of security and safety. This is the most basic thing ever. You'll see it in almost everyone. You'll see it when people that you're talking to, when things get heavy in a conversation, they'll draw inwards. To express and to promote a space of vulnerability and open is a lot of energetic, basically like commitment. And we don't have that when we are being bombarded or overwhelmed in a scenario energetically. So it's important to give space for people to approach those things. Like, so if you are trying to help yourself or others, you're trying to create space for those things to be approached safely and calmly, so that you can hopefully get to the next step or overcome whatever the initial trigger to guard or hold or withdraw from a scenario or a situation. Cool, Adam? Yeah.
Awesome. So now I'm going to put it into application for each of you. So I'm going to just demonstrate quickly so you quickly see it, and then we'll work it through together. Okay, so Kent, lie down again once in fetal position. Beautiful. So I'm going to partner you up. And so what you're going to do is player one, player two, red and blue. One of you is going to start here at the hip. So you're going to make sure they're grounded. So the first thing is you feel nice and safe. You can put the bolster under the head. Great. What I want you to do is I want you to take their hand right with them. And we're all cool with the elbow, so we're going to start here at the elbow. And we're going to take their hand and we're going to pull it. And as we pull the arm, we're going to get nice and close to them. We'll guide you, we'll help you. I want you to feel the connection. So Ken, bring your knees a little bit more, so 90 degrees. As you're going to pull them, you're going to use one arm to push their hip one way and the arm the other way. So you can feel the twist. Now, how does that feel?
Great.
This feels great. Now let's look this way. So the twist is complete, perfect. So now, the difference between him doing the twist on his own and me doing it now is that I am that weight. So now he can take that arm like he just described and open it up. And I'm continuously opening him up, and I'm continuously opening up over here. He doesn't need his knee because the shifting of the hip is what's bringing it down. And I want you to feel this, because once you feel this, you'll always understand what a twist is, okay? And plus, if you have a friend, you have a partner, you're just going to make a whole new level of connection with them by doing this to them, because this feels great for people. So again, stiff arm it, right at the hip, and as you hold the end, you're just holding it and pulling it. All right? So we're going to work with that. We'll work with you. Kelly, if you can move around the room too, you know this one. So the boys, the girls, let me see what I got. The boys, and we'll do the girls. Yeah, all three. Perfect, that'll be great. Body to body, similar features, similar facts.
We got one too many.
Yeah, we got a threesome. They'll be okay. They'll do three.
Should we just throw Kelly?
Yeah, you know what? Kelly, you go with Reza.
Yeah. No, I was going to say, we can still work as a group.
You know what? Why don't you work with Reza? Yeah, you just work with Reza.
Okay.
But yeah, Sam and Sue are cool.
Easiest.
They're friends. So. Perfect. So again, yogis, just 5 minutes. We're going to feel it out. Do both sides to your partner. Let them feel the stretch. And you're going to do 10 deep breaths with them. Okay, 10 deep breaths with them. That completes the activity. You push the hip one way, you pull the arm the other way, and they'll tell you when it feels good. Get the feedback from your partners. It doesn't matter. Just keep it on. We'll edit it after. Just don't, like I said, well, we're talking now like they're watching it. So remember, we're live.
Yeah.
So if I just drop the timeline, just make sure you know. Yeah. You know. You got it.
Yeah.
No bathroom breaks.
Yeah, I gotcha.
Good job. That's what we're missing. Oh, your buddy. Good, good.
Yeah, he's going
Try to get a little lower. So here's the hip bone.
Of course, right?
And then so palm, and you want to go in the direction.
This is good. I'm glad you're here.
Now you have the most leverage to create the rotation at the center axis.
You too.
There you go.
He is a really good guy.
Did that
We
change
love you,
anything you wanna
George.
pull for you? Yeah, is it okay? Yeah, okay, cool. It's also just like mechanically easier for you. Yeah. Exactly. It's just your body weight shifting forward. Yeah. And so Eric is this is the perfect example. Okay, he's got lots of pecs.
All right, Adam Bishal. Let's
When
see
you
it.
approach somebody who has
Beauty.
got more, give them as much rotation from the beginning before you crawl up here. Because can you feel how there's a little bit more there? Because if you allow him to be in something more neutral and you come up,
It's just going to come.
he's just going to get crowded out by the pull of the strong muscles that he has. He's just a perfect example for this. So we want to create that extra rotation first.
They're using 2 hands to rotate right now, right?
Yeah, so if I'm in your situation, I'm just going to like grab his bicep, rotate him, get to that traction point, and now I can control that situation. So I might even like continue to rotate him a little bit further. Might take a little bit more work, but like for someone in his situation, it will bypass the strength that he has in that tendon that's like yanking him forward.
There's a lot more tension.
Yeah, totally. Because what we're doing is we're actually stretching out the lats. We're using the lats as leverage for this because it crosses all of this. And so when you externally rotate at the shoulder, that puts the tendon at the longest position, and so it grants us even more room. But it also, for him, bypasses all the strength in his pecs to get to the next level. Anyways, give that a shot. How's that feeling? Yeah, this is looking good. You're more open in your chest than I thought you were going to be. That's pretty good. Yeah, you got to get that axe over the top, right? So get a little bit closer. There you go. And now the idea is, and so I just talked about this. This is like you'll typically find this with dudes. Draw back. Create the rotation. He's quite mobile, and then you're just going to keep that rotation at the wrist. So you were trying to find that leverage. It's easier to get it when the arm's down there, and then take it for a ride as opposed to trying to get it at the end. Does that feel okay? Oh yeah, no, don't worry about it. Do you feel that just like lock out on you? The bolster might be a bit high as well. Like, yeah.
Yeah, but you want something. Oh, you're going to get a block. Okay. We're going to start again. Okay.
Because if you have a block,
Yeah.
it'll be a little lower, and it's going to allow you to have a center axis. So give it a shot. And so the thing that we're going to do is we have a lot of internal rotation at the shoulder. So set things up from the first angle.
Okay.
Allow Sue to drop first. So go to the source, get to the shoulder, and so go right to her shoulder.
Okay.
No, that's you. Yeah, you're gonna drop her to the shoulder, and then you can get her to place her arm down. And now you're going to take that arm for a ride. Now that this is already set, and we'll see how does she.
No.
And so this is just an issue that she has with the internal rotation of her shoulders. Is it okay that I'm just pushing on you? So the reason why her neck's not rotating so much is because this is so far forward. So this is the type of work that Sue requires, but we're just trying to facilitate rotation right now.
Yeah.
But she's going to run into her limitation because she's so collapsed at this level.
Yeah.
So
Too much accent.
yeah. But what we would ask Sue to do is to approach this from a sequence perspective. We would ask her to do some sort of heart opener, a back bend first, and then approach this again, and she might get more room because her block is happening almost like dead center in the middle of her rib cage.
Okay.
So that's like a little bit more advanced, but it's the reason why you'll often see, I wasn't here for class, but you'll often see an opener first before you go into a rotation
Yeah.
for this exact reason.
Yeah.
And like, what's it like if we just take the block away entirely? I feel like that would be even more accessible for her.
Maybe.
As long as it's not too much of a drop. Yeah, the trick is like you always kind of want to have like a little bit of a scoop with the head, chin tucked in. Yeah, no,
So
as soon as
as
I
you
pulled on that, it
elongate,
immediately
as you
felt
look,
the middle
you
of
see he's
her
jumped up
thoracic
here now. So now
ribcage.
I'll help him,
It just wanted,
and I'll
it
push him
wants to
down.
drop in, but that's just
See,
the relationship
more
that
twist.
she has to the expression of rotation at this level.
He doesn't even need to go
In
more
this
up.
situation,
He's good.
like taking
He's good.
her
Why?
here
Because
is
we
less
got to get this down
beneficial
first
than
before we
letting
go
her
up
hang
higher.
out and
Right?
placing your
No
palm
use
here
going
and
up any
granting
higher until this comes down.
that pull.
So even if he came down, let's see
Now,
if we
when
can
you
get
breathe,
what level we
you
can
think
get this
of
down at. So
inhale
go
through
downward.
length through your spine.
There it is. And we got it down. You see?
Exhale
So you see the difference? So this is what we're doing in yoga, and we don't even notice we're doing
Inhale
it.
for length through the spine.
Because we think it should go this way, but all the time now he's not getting this.
And now what we're asking
Feels
with
better
each
here.
exhale,
Yeah, it feels way better. So what it looks like
you
and
feel
what
how
it
that
feels like
drops?
is two different things.
you know,
What it
'cause
looks
really,
like
like
and
when,
what it
when we're
feels
doing
like
group
is
work like this,
two
like it's
different.
your nervous system interpreting Sue's nervous system.
So it's funny,
and there's
taking that or taking it more down. Let's try taking it more down and see what happens.
Conversation and
How's that
ask her to
feel?
breathe and be a little
So
bit
now
more
he's
mechanical.
enjoying more of the
In this
posture.
situation, putting the arm out here
Going downward.
was bypassing a restriction deeper
Not the way you would think,
to the shoulder.
right? Because why?
Hopefully.
It's all here.
Yeah, and in Sue's own
But if we
practice.
think
that would be
always
thing
with the
for you to be working
peripheral
on.
and not with the
How do you
spine.
approach that?
What are we doing?
Calmly,
We're
so that you
twisting.
can be like, okay,
This
I
has
gotta
nothing to
spend
do
the
with
time
this.
here before
This is
I
here to help
bypass
this.
it and shoot to the next.
So if this is not helping this is hurting this.
Do you feel anything in your ribs when you get to that point? Or is it
Then it's
just
better for him to do it downward.
And that's it for it.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
See?
Want to take it down more?
And so that
Amazing, right? Isn't that crazy? It's a realization. Like when you get it, it's like, oh man, like I don't need my arm up here.
what it's like to get
I need my arm down here so I can draw my
then be
shoulder.
able to go higher up the
So
chin.
you go now.
It's really hard to
Because
just
you two have the same
bypass.
kind of body, so I feel like the
Part
two
of
of you are
rotation.
closer.
Yeah, no.
I want to talk to the both of you boys
You are
too.
stuck
I
on.
want to talk to the big
You were
boys.
stuck
So
in traffic.
same thing what I told the boys.
Yeah.
So go into your twist. So lean on your left sides. Okay, so there's no use going more with the arm if your shoulder's not down, right? So this whole thing, yeah, even like you. So first give me your knees together, right? There you go. Now, focus here, focus here, focus here.
When we
Right?
say hip,
Once you got that
the
connection,
ball and socket.
why
Right
would you
there,
go up
see?
here?
Your palm.
It's not gonna feel
If you
good.
can, just lean
You wanna
on the
stay
line of
here.
your thigh.
Because you want to
straight
twist
that way
this
with the
spine.
bone. Now you have the most mechanical
It's
leverage
all about the
possible.
spine. This
So
stuff
as
is
you
all
open her
just
up,
extra.
you've got this locked in.
Once you really get what's going on, Andrew, you want to get more extra, so I need to get your shoulder down. So how do I do that? Not by lifting your arm, by pulling your arm down and sinking you here.
This is a very different
See?
situation.
And now you look over at Eric, your buddy.
Right off the bat,
there you
we have
go.
so much more
And so how you get
rotation
more twist is not
all
by
the way up to
lifting
here.
your
This is
arm,
where she
by
breaks.
this peripheral thing. It's
So if
actually by
you're-
sinking it through.
Try this out.
So think
Put that
always,
arm on
boys.
your knee.
Spine,
Now go into
fingertips.
that rotation.
Go a slow journey.
Where do you
and
feel
work
your
the
limitation?
angles.
At
And
what,
now that the shoulder's
roughly at what
down, now
level
you
of your
can lift
spine
it
do you
up.
feel stopped?
No need to lift it up until this
in
comes
this
down.
rotation. Do you feel a sensation,
Because
or
you're
is this just
focused
free
on
flowing,
here.
open?
No, it just feels
Focus
stuck.
on your spine.
Yeah, where does it feel stuck?
Beautiful, brother.
The whole thing?
Yeah.
Okay, well you're rotating pretty well. That's like the whole thing.
Yeah.
So
This
what we're
stuff,
gonna do is
again, that's
now
what I
so
said,
you
these
apply your force,
experiences
like get her into that
It's
shape.
going to take you to the next level.
I'm sorry.
You're gonna go back to the exercise, right? So you'll put her into that position, and then you'll place her arm down. And the fact that you feel stuck already
Beautiful. She's doing
is
great.
interesting because you move very cleanly.
Yeah.
It just feels.
So that is another
Yeah,
technique
yeah.
too.
Well, you're
Exactly.
probably like at your end range,
Exactly.
but your end range is
See,
quite-
Tamelia,
Okay.
you speak with your hands.
Like if Sue wanted to, she could probably just keep going with that
Blessings.
arm. You seem pretty comfortable with it.
Because I got the Alex's ass.
I know, right? And so when you got somebody like this, she's got all this space. So grab her by the wrist,
Okay.
and you're gonna pull her wrist away from her body. So the hand's going that way, the wrist is going that way.
Stretchy. It doesn't. It's.
Well, we don't want it to hurt. We want stretchy.
No, I just wanted to make sure it didn't hurt.
It doesn't hurt.
Yeah.
But it, you feel not comfortable, but not uncomfortable.
Yeah, it's like it's pushing beyond your edge, right?
Yeah. That's probably good.
And so the thing that you're always looking for is how much can she breathe into each one of these spaces.
Yeah, I have more space there.
Yeah, so this, she started crowding through her shoulder.
Oh, okay.
That is really safe, and now let her breathe. Let her breath dictate where the movement comes from. Because the movement of the ribs is what's going to allow for the rotation of the spine. That's what we were trying to talk about earlier, was just like if one can move, the other one has more room to operate. And so sometimes it's just playing it safe, being a little bit smaller, and let the ribs do the work to get the rotation out of the spine. You have a very fluid rotation. So like, yeah. Yeah, no, it's really good. It's really good. No, in the rotation in your spine. Yeah. You rotate very cleanly up the entirety of your spine. It doesn't cap out until like the top, like 4 ribs. It'll be interesting to see what it's like on the other side, though. Let's see.
All right, crew, feel good? Ready to come back? I'm going to move you the other way now.
Are you running into something? Were you running into something? No. Okay.
All right, crew, watch me. Master Kent. So we've done this move before, but I'm going to show you today. So again, and I have to preface by saying, like, this is where, this program is not everyone's cup of tea. It's our cup of tea. Everyone in this room is getting a lot out of it, and it was something, again, that Ashley just said. What is the cup of tea? We're not here to tell you what to do. We're not here to turn you into robots, and we don't have a script, and there's no recipe. If you want to teach, you're already a teacher inside you, and there's something inside you burning up to share it with others. That's what makes you a teacher, okay? The passion. However, learning how to teach, there's a whole bunch of techniques. It's like learning guitar. If I said to you, hey, there's a 40-hour program where you're going to learn guitar in 40 hours, and you're going to be able to teach it, it'd be like, you know what I mean? Same with this. It's like, 40 hours just the... It's a beginning, it's a journey, it's an experience. That being said, if you apply what you've learned here, like I said to Ashley, it's the consciousness. We're not trying to tell you the right way, we're just trying to share the consciousness of teaching for yourself, for others, the experience. Because once you understand the consciousness, you're never ever going to be at odds with someone else if they're right about something. Because you have the consciousness. You're just going to add to your own consciousness, and you're going to be conscientious by adding in this other knowledge that might absolutely contradict what you already know. But you know what? You're open to it because it's not about being right? And then she said to me, I love how you're teaching us, we had this conversation, now you're teaching me the right way. And I said, no, I'm not teaching you the right way. I'm teaching you the consciousness way. And she goes, and I went, because if I taught you the right way, then there's a wrong way. And someone else may have a better right way. And now we're in, how can we both be right? But if I teach you the consciousness, Ashley, that's what I was saying, Ashley, if I teach you the consciousness, then whenever you meet another right way, you can go that way, and this can follow you, right? So it's an experience, okay? So now we're going into, again, I'm teaching a new posture, not to teach you, hey, here's how you teach the posture. We can do that, but this is the consciousness. So we did the lying down twist. Now we're going to do it flat on the back, flat on the belly, so prone. So Ken, go prone. Yep, that's great. So this one I like to call scorpion tail. So arms out in this T. So this is the other favorite twist. So the one you saw right there, it's a good one. People love twist. It's okay though. It doesn't get the big crowd pleasers as this one does. This one is magical. And this one I recommend for all of you. You've done it with me before, you've seen it, but I want you to work with each other and do it, okay? So what we're gonna do is, the body works ipsi, so ipsilateral, same side, or contralateral. So it works parallel, right? Works parallel. I do the same thing, right? Or I do the opposite thing, which is this way, yeah. And the opposite way is more optimal. So the opposite way is contralateral. It's always more optimal. So when you do this stretch, it's really going, you'll feel it in your body. Sometimes you always think like, oh, I gotta stretch my right arm with my right leg. but it's actually, you need to stretch your right arm with your left leg. It's contralateral. You need to stretch the X in your body. So in this movement, Kent, if you can you look to the left side? Beautiful. Start with the head, rest the spine. And then the first things first. Let's take his hand and say, can you bend your elbow? So elbow bends, palm flat on the floor, right? Object, action, direction, language. Left leg, left heel lifts up to left hip, right? Boom. And is going to cross over the body towards the floor as you use your left hand to help facilitate this movement. Now, he's getting a beautiful shoulder stretch. Do you remember what felt so good when you applied and one of the boys? What felt so good? It wasn't the arm pull, it was the shoulder press, right? This was to get you started. And then we started to show you what? The periphery doesn't matter. It's all about the center. It's all about your spine. So here, now you're getting that palm that we just gave all of you, you're doing it yourself. The palm is now the ground. That hip that was moving is now the leg. So what you're going to do with your partner is you're going to help them understand where their body can go. So he's basically rolling over himself right now. And you're going to play around with this energy, what feels right. This one's a hard one to experience in proprioception because he's looking this way. He doesn't really see what's going on here, so you can really help your partner, and you can really help them understand their bodies. Okay? All right, Kent, I'm going to give it to you now.
Cool.
And then we'll work on it as a group.
Okay, so we haven't really gotten into it yet, but we've made some references to open chain versus closed chain. So my arms are moving right now in an open chain from my torso. As soon as I go into a plank position, they are now in a closed chain with the floor. Anything I do with my arms is now rooted to the reference of the floor. To his point about the nice adjustment that we were granting people in that open twist, the legs were the closed part of the chain. The upper body was the open part of the chain. Now we're going in reverse. We are closing the chain, so if you want to set yourself up with the elbow. And then now that far shoulder that he is going to be rotating around is the closed part of the chain. The leg, if you want to lift the leg, you can go into the shape. He will now be entering into an open chain expression through the leg. And so the beauty of this position is you've done the hard work, which is the shoulder. Everyone has problems with their shoulders. The bigger they are in their shoulders, the more problems. The more rounded they are because of computer use, all that stuff, the more of an issue you're going to have. The one thing I'm going to reference to everyone, there is nothing wrong with shying down with the angle. If being in a full T, like 90 degrees from the body, is too hectic, drop that straight down. Yeah, thank you, go on the other side. Yeah. If you find the spot that creates the line of pull that allows your shoulder to feel anchored. He's got the room, so he is going to explore what that range feels like for him. You would do this before you go too far over, because obviously as soon as you keep rotating over, it gets harder and harder to move that arm.
And let's mention to the boys in the room when we were talking about that with the arm, right? Michelle, it's better to be lower than it is to go higher because your shoulder is more important because you're overcompensating because it's all about the spine.
Yeah.
Focus on the spine. If all of you focus on the spine, stop looking at what yoga is on the outside, arms, legs. Just focus on your spine. You're gonna have the best yoga of your life all the time. Okay? All right, keep going.
From a strong core, you get more leverage to mobilize the legs and the arms, to Alex's point, right? So if we can be more differential to that root, we can have an easier time expanding and building safely on what expressive extremities can get up to. Okay, so in this shape, Alex is just a noodle right now. This is awesome. So we have tons of room. Most of us are not going to be able to do what Alex is doing right now. So I'm going to just talk about the safety of what you're going to be able to apply. Like if I'm dealing with this, like as someone who's going to like approach a body, like we can create just a pull to grant him space through his lower back. Because right now, all I've done is taken the leverage and created yank in his lower back. If you want to, sorry, just so the camera can see, if we can put this into, if anyone remembers, come on, bonus, abduction, anyone? No? Okay. So as we place more load, we get more twist. If this person is already expressing their full range, then there's no reason to go any further into that. So just creating straight traction outwards will create more room for the spine to experience the rotation. The more room there is for the spine in extension, the more room there is for rotation. That's ultimately why we're here. Understand what your intention is with the exercise. And in this case, when you're applying force, like what do I want my person to feel? What am I trying to facilitate? So in his case, I'm going to create a nice line of pull and then start high in the spine. If you want to go up here, you will create more room for him to rotate around. If you start low, you might bypass where the restriction is in his upper back. Start up here because you will often find more of the problem up here. Because remember, this is the root of what's anchored. Start at the bottom, and then you might notice, oh, that doesn't really move anymore. That's the place to hang out. If you just go straight to the lower back and start folding him here, now I got a choke point here and I got a choke point in the middle of his back. That's going to create a lot of adversity for his nervous system to interpret the movement of his ribs. We want a gradual line of pull for the ribs to soften to the experience.
Awesome. All right, Yogi Scorpion Tail, work with your partners. Again, experience this. Because if you get it, you got it, you're going to be doing it every day, and you're going to feel pain-free within a month or two. It's beautiful. No more forward folding and backward bending. The secret to life is twisting. Right?
Yeah.
It is, man. Feels so good. Beautiful, brother. I think we'll just go.
I'll keep mine on because. Okay.
Work with them, that's great. I'm just gonna use the bathroom.
That looks awesome. Now try this. You've got the length in your arms. Yeah. You're gonna hook them and create a bit of a pull. How's that feeling there? Yeah, right? So there's that line of pull, right? And so once you get used to that line of pull, then you can apply on like a bigger body like him, like you're gonna need to use your full body. So you're gonna have to get pretty close to him, right? But like, I can just like anchor him into my hip, lean backwards. I'm not doing much work. I'm just leaning backwards, and then I can create the reference point. And really, you're just looking to see if you can breathe. Like the cool thing is like, if we're good, there's his main restriction. Like that's. So we're gonna ask Eric, you're just gonna take a deep breath into that space where you feel my hand, and then exhale, try and soften around that. So I'm just gonna keep finding a line of pull while we get him to express what the movement is there. But that's where he's gonna stop, I think. But here, give it a shot. Does it make sense though? Like, you use your length. You've got an opportunity. I'm glad we put like the tallest guy together because otherwise that would be unfair. Yeah. Eric, does that feel okay? Yeah. And this is like super advanced. If you ever want to get into it, you take this knee. So let him close off a little bit. Take that knee, put it right underneath his sacrum, and let him fold over your sacrum. Sorry, fold over your knee. And now he can put more attention to detail in the lengthening and not so much the drop and the twist. So it's just a different way of like approaching someone's body if they're running into problems. Eric, is that okay? Yeah. Yeah, you got it. Okay. So why did you immediately want to put your arm on the other side?
I don't know why.
Yeah, because we get told to do that all the time, right?
Yeah, it's like it pushes you this way.
Well, because it's using your body weight. But if you actively push into here to create the room, this is all externally rotated, and you actually have more room to experience the rotation higher up the chain. When you internally rotate across your own body, you're locked, that's closed. Now you can only rotate to here. Whereas with this, you can start rotating beyond that point. Anyways, it takes a little bit more energy. It's not as passive as the bind, but does it make sense? Yeah. Just trying to like create a little bit more intention as to where the hand is going. Yes. No, she's there you go. Right? And I always think of point your fingertips in the direction you want to go.
Comfort is the key.
So, right, that's going that way. It's going to direct your force in your body towards. And now you're going to try it. So if you want to turn around. Yep. No, you got it, you got it. Now kneel down. So try to be here. So put your leg, so turn this way. There you go. Then you grab behind the knee and pull. Yeah, so we're just gonna take your leg and we're just gonna create that pull. How's that feeling? Right? So all we do is create that pull, and then once you can just hold that with one hand if you want, you can shoot forward so that you can then place your hand on your back. So come forward. So move your body forward. Move your body forward. There you go. So try to start up there because you want to go up the chain. So this pushes, this pulls. How are we doing? Yeah. And now we're just letting her breathe. So you're going to inhale for length. Yeah. So you're going to use the mark. So inhale for length, exhale for rotation. Inhale for length, exhale for rotation. And if you want more out of this, inhale, nice and long through your spine. Exhale, push into this hand. No, push to rotate even further. Right? So you can start exploring and expanding on what that looks like here. You want to lift your head? There you go. Is that okay?
Oh, yeah.
Neutral? Yeah, there we go. Great. I can't believe I let you get away with this. Externally rotate, externally rotate. There you go. There you go. Yeah, try the other side. Is he live? Oh, come back.
Come back.
Face down, starting your T, you're gonna rotate over this guy. So use this arm as leverage, so like place it down so that you can push up. I always like to have the fingertips pointing in the direction that you want to provide force. And now, so what you're gonna do is, first things first, we're gonna create pull. Just traction behind the knee, and you get to see him, you okay?
Yeah.
We're just gonna see him explore what it's like to get a little bit of length. So now we're just putting length into his spine, and now his breath gets as much opportunity as possible to explore that. And if you can do that with one hand, then you can get the other hand. So really, you just kind of want to have your knees here.
How does that feel, Adam? Good?
Yeah. So in the perfect world, you want your legs here, so you can lean back on this guy while still getting your hand here. No, not his arm. Try it. So you just keep using that as leverage, and you're gonna help his ribs. So create a focal point for his ribs to rotate around. Yeah, there you go. So this is pushing up, that's pulling back. Adam, you use that as leverage. Keep pushing into the floor, and now you can just keep exploring rotation. How you feeling with that? So now, your inhale, go for length. Your exhale, push into the floor, go for rotation. There you go. And so as long as you can be consistent with like applying those two directions, you've given him a backdrop of traction. And now it's up to him into breathing. Like it's up to Adam's inhalation to create the room for the rotation on the exhalation. You smack dab right on your restriction. Like that's where your ribs stop moving. That's right. Yeah. You look very happy there.
Very happy.
What was the question, Kelly?
I was just going to say, like, with respect to the top arm,
Yeah.
right? So top arm is here, kind of like a little more like chill vibes.
Yeah.
I'm bringing my arm up, and I'm stretching more of my chest. Like, would you want to bring the arm up here? Or would you want to
No, you want to keep it down because like what we're doing is like we're letting the rotation come. So this is the anchored point.
Yep.
And she has so much rotation, it's ridiculous.
Yeah, I know. I'm like,
Right? So like this, I know you're like, I need more. Like how do I stop her from doing this? So like in this situation, like I would be hard pressed to like get more rotation out of her.
Yeah.
But like I've got enough experience to know that that's her focal point. This is
Yeah.
where she collapses. Okay. So like I would place a hand there, step behind there, and now you're gonna take your time, breathing into that space if you can. Take deep breaths in for inhalation for length. exhalation, see if you can push into the floor and rotate a little bit more freely in that space. So she has so much movement in her lower body, but she doesn't get to challenge this. Can you feel how that doesn't move? So breathe into that. Like all I can do is create a little bit of traction for you, but that space right there is one rib. Keep going. And then if we allow your next exhale to just create a little bit more in rotation, and let this be a push. So you're trying to rotate this upwards into my pressure.
Yeah, that's what, like...
Right? Because if I just like took her arm, for instance, and tried to like fold her open, we're doing something else entirely.
Yeah, I was just that's, I'm like, it kind of defeats the intention of what's happening here.
With the pose?
With this pose.
For sure. But like, the idea is just like, when you've got someone who's this mobile, like this is impressive. This is, you have all your rotation right here. It's like, it's doing so much work. But this is the space that needs the most help.
The space.
Which is why in this situation, because the hips are the open chain, this is less of an effective technique on a body that presents like this. Whereas the other technique, where we were closed at the hips and opening here, you would have way more room to explore your limitations at that level. Does that make sense? Yeah. So everyone's different, and you will see different qualities of that unfold when like this. She's pretty much flat on the floor. Like your left butt cheek's almost down to the floor. You're still pinned. Yeah, it's just a lot. Yeah, exactly. It's but the whole time this is barely being addressed.
Yeah. Okay.
And so that's why.
And so that's going to be more addressed in that simple twist.
Yep.
Knees on top, and then opening here because we're getting more into the middle back.
And it all depends on what's the open chain, what's the closed chain.
Yeah.
So that's your reference point. Is that cool? So this is looking really good. You want to know the secret to opening this up? Think about tractioning the floor with this leg, with that heel. Think about pulling that heel towards your butt. It's almost like you're dragging your own body to like your heel. Yeah. So like, you've got your heel, imprint it, and drag it that way. And so internally, you can create more room for yourself. Yeah. It's not as good, but it's the equivalent of this. Right? Like I'm creating traction on you. You can create that traction on your femur by just creating that drag. Yeah. And then the rest comes from just the position, and always point the fingers in the direction you want to go.
Oh, okay.
Right? So if you want to go that way, point your fingers. Okay. There you go. Now you have the most leverage to explore what you got.
That's a huge difference.
Yeah, is that feeling okay? And someone in your situation, I would put a block, because now you don't have to think about your neck. It's not going to stop you from rotating any further.
I see.
There you go. So that's very neutral. You actually have a fantastic twist going all the way to here. That's your axis where you're breaking. That's great. Does that make sense though? That little pull.
All right, so when we're ready to come back, me and Ken are going to conclude. All right. All right, crew. So thank you.
Beauty. So again, good energy, everyone. Awesome. Again, it's all about the experience, right? You're learning from experience, right? What makes a good teacher is they teach what's within to who's in front. So we got to show you what's within each of you. And once you start seeing all these subtle nuances, things start clicking. Again, I like to teach through consciousness. This is how I exchange consciousness. Kent, Kelly, Paula, all of us working together as one, in oneness. It's awesome, okay? So thank you all. It's definitely unorthodox, but as it is, because the best way to learn is through your own experience. And that may be the new way, that's the new standard. But until then, we're gonna go rebel spirit, right? To each their own, right? If you liked it, great. So we're just gonna do a little summary, the two of us, about what we experienced, what I saw, what he saw. You wanna jump first, or you want me to go first? Okay, so for me, what I saw was, what I wanted to show you is like twisting, open face twisting, lying on the ground, I can twist my spine this way. Okay? But I can also do the exact same pose. You realize it's the same pose. This way. Right? It just depends on what we were talking about. Closed chain, open chain. What are you connecting with the earth, and what's up in the air, what's loose? What do you want to work on? Where is it in your body? What's more comfortable for you? And as you keep going through whatever's uncomfortable, all of these postures are here to help you as guides, allies, friends, amigos, you know, tools to carve out, you know, what is most comfortable for you. It's going to help you along the way get through the uncomfortable. And when you don't feel that way, you come to class with me, or you go see him privately, and he works with you, right? You ask for help. You extend, you can't do it yourself, you ask for help. Come to class, me, you go see him, right? So this is the way, right? And when you pursue this way, there's always an answer, because you are a seeker, and you are seeking the answers for yourself, and we are here to help you, but the healing is in you. And twisting is one of the best ways you can heal your body. So if you have aches and pains and that's what we said. It's an amazing way, just through twisting. So I showed you this kind of open face, closed, right? On your back, on your belly, just to show you. You can do this move any way you want it. You can do it on a bar here, right? You're twisting, right? You can just twist it out. All right, what's closed? Right now, I'm on the bar, right? And I'm doing the same twist. I'm twisting my body, right? Take the consciousness you learned from the floor and now apply it anywhere in your life. I'm standing at a bus station. There's a pole. I'm twisting, right? You can do it. Yoga is everywhere. Once you start to understand, and it's coming from your spine. We were doing it on the boat together, right? And he was watching me. I was like, doing yoga on the boat. These new asanas, because the boat is a cool shape. And I'm like, woo. You know, it's fun to twist out, you know, and do this and lean. And that's why I said to him, like, you're going to love this program. This program is going to teach you how to kind of latch on to things and take the concept of twisting. You can be all twisting right now and relaxing, right? If you want to. You can all be sitting here listening to me, opening up your hips, if you want to. You're learning the consciousness of how to do that, okay? So that's my end of things. Master Kent.
Yeah, so probably the most important takeaway from rotation would have to be about what we were kind of, or I was trying to sort of lace in there, was it's really hard for you to rotate freely without the other spinal notions being able to express themselves. And so the thing that I want everyone to sort of think about is what shape, what extreme were we always looking for through all of these postures? It was basically our arms up while our pelvises were going down, and then we're rotating away from these 2 points. If our arms are down when we do that, we immediately lose the mechanical advantage in leverage. The reason why is we've got these huge, I just want to touch on these muscles. They're really important, and I actually think they're probably the biggest sort of blind spots in yoga, so it's something to be conscious of, is trying to access the length of what's called our lat, the latissimus dorsi, or it runs from the underside. See the final question, we just figured it out. That's great. Right? So look, when your arm is up, we're all asking questions right now. When your arm is up, this thing attaches to the underside and internally rotates your shoulder. The beauty of it is when it's up, it immediately starts pulling on the entire flank of your lateral body. So it's going to anchor into what's called the lumbar fascia, which is basically this beautiful web of support for your lower back in somewhat of a triangle. And when our arms are up, we create leverage to lengthen it. And decompression problems, or because they are always dealing in seated positions, or they've had an injury that forces them into being locked in their lower back. Remember that your upper body leverage is your best way of accessing space there. And you'll notice whenever we were going up and we wanted to explore more, the arm would go up, creating more and more opportunity to access more space up the chain. So just remember that your lats are your gateway to open up the lateral part of the body in order to allow for the other Sure, this thing only does side flexion, and if they both fire at once, they can contribute to a little bit of flexion or a little bit of extension, whichever direction they're being yanked. But what this does is it creates an opportunity for everything to have room, because it's pulling away from the midline, it's pulling wide, so the rest of the spine can do its job. So always look for opportunities to use leverage with your arms if you want something out of your spine. And so I felt like a lot of you were kind of figuring that and feeling that. And you'll notice that even with the way that Alex wanted you to have a partner pull on you, that's what they were pulling on, that leverage being granted by lats. I'm just gonna show you something super quick. You'll probably see me at ALTEA doing this all the time. I broke my back, that's the reason why I do it, but everyone should do it. You're trying to create leverage. All I do is sit back. I've basically done everything that we just did in class, I'm doing it neutral. If I want to twist, that's all I'm doing. I'm dropping one hip, I've just created everything that we just did, and I did it in my own body, right? To his point, everything is an opportunity for yoga, an expression of breath in different dimensions of the shape of your body. Don't forget about what can be had here in order to create the facility for all the rotation that we've been talking about today, and ultimately unlocking the potential for the extension, the flexion. So hopefully that's something that you can kind of think about if you have questions about that one, because that is very complicated. There's lots in there. I'm a bit of a fiend for this stuff. Alex can tell you, like, forced him to get a chin-up bar, and he hangs religiously now. But it's like, the more that we can understand this space, the more we can understand the leverage that the upper body offers the lower body. And that also goes vice versa, but it's about turning gravity on its head and turning it into a modality for decompression as opposed to the compressive force that it's consistently applying. So, yeah, that's just a small little thing for you to like think about, entertain. We will be talking about that a little bit later in the course, but this was kind of a good understanding because it was such a neat anchor to get a little bit more space out of what you were experiencing in that rotation.
Totally. Okay, cool cats. Beautiful. Okay, so we're gonna ground our practice now. So lie down on your backs, place your bolster at your tailbone, open up your legs, lie back, relax and chill. I'm gonna set up the room, get you nice and cozy and comfortable, because again, we are in for yin. We don't need to just jam you with knowledge. That's the yang, right? We're here for experience. That's the yin. All right, we're here to relax, we're here to release. We're here to let go. We're here to breathe and be. We're here to breathe and be. So as we relax back, we've learned a lot of things. And there's a lot of information. Perfect. Yeah, we're good. A lot of information. Now we're going to go into more of the breath. So if you need to use the bathroom, feel free, relax. Just release. Just taking everything just down, down, down towards the ground. Nice and chill, nice and still.
If anyone doesn't want adjustments, just raise your hand and I'll honor that. Otherwise, I'm going to take you through a series of small.
All right, yogis, so as we prep the room, just take a moment to yourself just to get nice and grounded and connected. Feeling into this moment. Feeling into this moment. Letting everything go. Putting the past behind us, where it belongs. The future in front of us. And just allowing ourselves to be present. That's the gift. Understanding this moment. As you be and breathe, just naturally, I'm going to guide us through. Until then, just getting nice and settled. There we go. Let's change it up. That one. Yeah. Perfect. All right, that one. There we go. All right, yogis. So as we have everyone back in the room, still missing one. Just breathing, just relaxing. And there's no rush, there's no worry. We got this, right? It's okay. It's okay to rest. It's okay to do nothing. You know, a lot of people that I find as mentors and teachers, Rick Rubin being one of them, does his best work lying down. Only meets clients lying down. So creativity comes through lying down, all right, resting. Why? Again, if it's not comfortable, it's not yin, right? In order for it to be yin, it has to be comfortable. Because what is yang? Yang would be uncomfortable. So yin is trying to take the comfort. It's trying to transform the comfortable into the uncomfortable. It's trying to take that transformation of the uncomfortable into the comfortable. That's the important part. That's the blessing. So as we land here and we're all together now, we're gonna go for a nice 30 minutes just to rest, relax. And you could be here for 5 hours, you could be here for 5 days. When we hit these moments, it doesn't matter, your body recharges. You don't need more sleep, more food, more drink. Everything is being nourished by the prana, the energy. So what we're really here to do is breathe, because that's what yoga is. Yoga is the breath. Yoga is the breath. And this type of breathing today is going to be very special. It's going to be new for you, okay? So the breath we're going to teach today is Ujjayi. A new breath, new word. Some of you have never heard this word before. What's that? Ujjayi. Ujjayi breathing is ocean-sounding breath. And so this breath is beautiful because you've used it your whole life. You use it as a utility, but you don't know that it's a pranayama. You don't know that it's part of this yin yoga program, this practice. So I'm going to teach you today, and you're going to experience it, and we're going to do it for the next half an hour as we relax, release, and you're going to feel the effect, the energy. You're going to feel the energy. So when you're ready, yogis, I want you to remember a time where you cleaned your sunglasses, or you were in a cold place and you were trying to warm something up with your breath. You know, you clean your glasses, you're like, that sound, that's Ujjayi. That's what the yogis call Ujjayi. It's a very special type of breathing. It's the ocean-sounding breath. And once you learn this breath, you're going to love it. And people are going to love you around them. Because when you really get it right, you sound like the ocean. You calm down other people's nervous systems because your nervous system is calm. You can hear it through the breath. You take a deep breath in through the nose, you fill up air into the lungs, and then as you exhale through the mouth, it's a and then has heat. There's heat to this breath. So in through nose and out through mouth. We're practicing the breath. You've all done it before. If you feel a little bit more adventurous, you can push it out, feel it. Almost like a hiss, but when it hits the hiss, it's gone too far. That's a different thing. Sounds like the ocean. And it's a contraction in your glottis. Now, the way we're doing it right now, your mouth is going to get dry, so you need to, right? Okay. Because we're practicing. Okay, true ujjayi. Ujjayi, I'm going to teach you, my students, you close your mouth. You do the same breath with your mouth closed. And now your mouth doesn't get dry because your mouth is closed, but that moisture that would go out onto your sunglasses is now trapped inside your mouth. And this is a way of cultivating energy. It's a way of cultivating attention. Heat in the body, they say. Do you notice every time we teach class, I warm up this room? This room is always warm because that's yin. Right? Yin is warm. It's not hot. That's yang. Right? Yin is warm. So this breath can make you hot. I can teach you that technique, but that's for a different day, a different program. That's the yang. We're here to use this breath to calm ourselves, to relax ourselves, to be the ocean. Nice and soft, behind the closed mouth. And why the closed mouth? Because we're regulating it right now. When we're ready to release it, what are we going to do? Now you know. You know through your own experience. We're going to open the mouth and we're going to let it go. Just like using words. That's what language is. It's a release. So until you're ready to release, until you're ready to speak, you keep it behind closed lips. You energize. You activate the nervous system. Strong and steady, like ocean waves. And that's why they call it ujjayi, ocean sounding breath. And behind closed lips, that sound, that hum. And as many as you know, if you were to increase the intensity of this, right? Sounds like a pouting girl or someone who's angry. Because now it's not a cooling breath. It's not a warming breath, it's a hot breath. But we're here for yin. We're here for the chill version of the method. The chill version of the pranayama. And just like in science, it takes 10 minutes to entrain through binaural beats the mind, no matter what its frequency, to the binaural. So too, with us in pranayama, it takes 10 minutes of breathing just to get there. And we're almost there. A little bit more time. We're still maybe having our own thoughts, own feelings, own thing, but trust me, if you stay with ujjayi 10 minutes, you're gonna hijack your mind. Whatever vibration it's on, whatever frequency it's thinking about, it will change. And with that, I give you the permission now to open up your mouth at will. And then close the lips and go back to. I want you to always remember, like stretching, like reaching for your toes. When you're in yoga with you and me, when we're doing pranayama, pranayama is like reaching for your toes. You're always trying to lengthen the breath. You're trying to be the longest breather in the room. I always know when Kelly's in the room. I can always hear her. Even if I don't see her, I can hear her. Kelly's one of the few people at ALTEA that I know. And that's why she co-teaches this program with me, with all of you. Because the breath comes first. Because the breath is her. She is the breath. I am the breath. You are the breath. You're not what you wear. You're not what you do. You're not what you have. That's the human part. Remember the intention. Remember the intention. And when you open up your mouth to release, you're releasing that which is not your intention. Things you've done, things you've had, things you didn't have. Let it go. It doesn't belong in your body. It doesn't belong in you. We're not actors. We're yogis. We're seeking wholeness. So anything that divides us, we have to get rid of. Because the division isn't working for us anymore. The pain, the trauma, the suffering, it's not working. And so we make a choice to become whole. And so there's a protocol, right? It's not that there's command, a way, it's set in stone, but there is a path. And the breath shows you, teaches you what it is. So if you're here consenting to be in yin, you love this energy, this slow, this deep, this long, this grounded, this surrendering experience, then let's align with it and let's see all practices through this lens. Because we can do the same thing we're doing right now the opposite way. But that's not for us. That's not for today. Because what's your intention? 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 Remember, well, you must not forget the reason why you're being, the reason why you're breathing. What is the reason we're doing this? And that's why you are now using the ujjayi to open and close. Regulate when it's closed, build it up, think about it, stir on it, contemplate, philosophize. It's like listening. You're listening. And then you open your mouth, you're speaking. You're releasing. Don't be afraid to sing the song of something sacred. The sound of your voice does not scare any of us, does not worry us. There is nothing to be scared here. This is a practice. No sound in this room will scare me because it's yin. Nothing's coming out short or fast or quick. We all trust each other. So if your voice sounds a little different, that's okay. Trust yourself. Let it out. Trust me. It's connected to you and it's connected to the sound. Some of you are holding back. You can feel it. You can hear it. That's why a lot of you are attracted to me. I don't hold back. I'm very yang. I don't hold back. I don't play defense. But that's why I'm here with you, because I need this. I need more defense. I need to hold back. But that's what makes the balance. So take this moment, this opportunity to explore the ujjayi. At this point, you might be saying, well, this is a long time. Well, you're in for yin. Everything we do is a long time. Only the best, highest quality things Nothing comes quick. That's yang. It's not our story. Everything we do, long and strong. Why is it a 40-hour program? Because that's a long time for people here in Liberty Village to commit to. And we weeded through a whole lot of youngsters to get to the 10 of you, so we could be here together. So we could have this moment together. We got rid of those youngsters and we found the yin stars, the yinsters. But isn't it boring? Boring is for children. This is not for children. This is for adults. We're being. How nice is it just to be and breathe? How nice is it to be present? What is boring about doing ujjayi over and over and over and over again? What is boring about this? Isn't it hard? Why would it be hard? That's yang. Yin is easy. That's all it takes. Keep going, yogis. 10 more minutes. You can feel the ocean of our being. This experience, aware of your energy as you release. Letting it go, whatever needs to be let go. Father Sky, Mother Earth. Energy leaves the body through two ways during our practices, as we've noticed. We ground it through the earth, we feel it physically, grounding it through the earth, and we release it emotionally through the breath. When we ground it into the earth, that's Mother Earth taking it. Came from Mother Earth, it can go back to Mother Earth. It doesn't belong in you. The accident, the pain, the trauma, the suffering came from somewhere, came from Earth, came from someone, came from Earth, goes back to Earth. Came from sky, goes back to sky. Connection, relationship. This is a program to teach you what it is that a program is meant to do, which is condition you, program you, give you information, knowledge, transference from us to you. So now it's in you. The information is the experience, not the piece of paper, not the t-shirt. The experience. And that's why you have to look beyond the eyes. You have to see into the soul of a person. As we relax, release. As we relax, release. Ujjayi breathing. In through nose. And long and strong through the mouth, either open or closed. Feeling that contraction in the throat. This is how you build a relationship with yourself. Yourself is many things. Your nervous system is one of them. You are learning how to cultivate a relationship with your nervous system. Lips closed, you're building it up, you're contemplating, you're churning it, you're using it, you're analyzing it, you're experiencing it, you're getting it. You open your mouth, you're releasing it, you're letting go, saying it out. Back in, back out. And this is how we heal. It's this easy. And why isn't everyone doing it? Because we can't just do it, we have to be it. We had to be here. We had to be here. We all had to get to this point of trust, connection. We had to be ready. That's the gift. The seed needed to be planted in the good soil at the right time for it to grow. Sure, it's great learning from books. Sure, it's great watching videos. But there's nothing like learning from direct experience. And the way I teach you, and I always say this to my students, is the way I wish I was taught. If you're having fun, I'm having twice as much fun. Because it's my wish every time when I walk out and see what we're doing, because this isn't the way I learned. This is the way I wished it. And that's the gift. You get to be that. And now you get to give this to yourself in the future, to a friend in the future. Releasing the past and just being present. This is yoga. This is yoga. This is meditation. You're doing it. This is how Peter Pan flies. This is how magic becomes real. This is the Kool-Aid. This is the medicine. The truth is in yourself. Don't let anyone take it from you. And don't be afraid. Don't have any fear of sharing it. The community in unity with each other. Because there's a lot of space, and there's a lot of darkness, and there's a lot of pain, and there's a lot of suffering. And it's up to us to be the balance. We don't need to save the world. Father Sky, Mother Earth, they got this. All I'm asking for is to save yourself. If you're drowning, know how to save yourself. And if you don't and you need help, here are techniques on how you can help yourself before asking for help. Help is always here. I'm always here for you. Kent's here for you. Kelly's here for you. Paolo's here for you. ALTEA is here for you. This place, this space. But these techniques are for you before you, I must do this, I must do that. You already got it. It's within you. This is the consciousness. This is what I'm here to teach you. This is what makes you a good teacher. When you get it, you got it. And when you got it, you keep getting it. And you keep sharing it. And it only comes out when you are it. So as you be and breathe through the ujjayi, through the ocean-sounding breath, you're a new treasure, you're a new toy, you're a new technique. This is the gift. Now ask yourself, what price can you put on this gift? Is it worth $100? Is it worth $1 million? Is it worth a cup of coffee? Is it worth a hot cacao? What is the value of this energy right now, of this space, of this place? It doesn't exist because it's being. You can't put a price on something that is priceless. This breath is priceless. Old people can do it, new people can do it. Young, old, doesn't matter. The breath is the breath is the breath. Can't put a price on it. So some people pay a lot for it and some people pay a little for it. Like I said, you can beg, borrow, and steal. It don't matter. Being is being. So whatever is holding you back, release it. Let it out. Let it go and let it flow all the way through. Deep, deep down. There's something that just don't feel right or you did wrong. Just balance it out. It's okay to be wrong. Just own it here, in this moment. You don't need to tell us. I don't need to know. You need to know. You need to let it go. This is ujjayi. The wave just got a little bit bigger, and that ocean just sounded a little bit stronger. We have little waves and we have big waves. I'm opening up the space for big waves. You don't have to tell me. You don't ever have to talk about it. You can let it go right now. Just gotta let it go. All the way through you. Father Sky, Mother Earth. You are in for yin. This is what we're here to do. We're here to heal. We're here to feel. And whatever it is, Mother Earth's got your back, and Father Sky's got your spirit, got your star. You are the ocean. Let it out. This is not about being a good person. It's not about being a bad person. We've all done good and bad. We've all done good and bad. Me. Release it. So there's nothing left to release. Because it's gone. You've let it go. Because it's about the relationship you carry with yourself. This is the yin. The yang is with others. This is for you. And the bones crack, and the body relaxes, and you start to feel it. All right, for those who really want to feel it, take a deep breath in. Exhale steady with me. and hold out. Hold out as long as you can. Hold out as long as you can. Hold out as long as you can, and then take a deep breath in and hold as long as you can. So we're holding out as long as we can. And then when you can't hold out anymore, you're going to take a deep breath in, and you're going to hold that breath. To experience, to reprogram, rejuvenate, reconnect. And when you have done both that, some of you are still holding, but when you're done the exhale hold and the inhale hold, place your hands on your heart. Back to the intention. Remember the gift. The gift is the intention. It's the gift you give yourself. And once I see everyone's hands on their heart, I'll know you're done your practice, because I want everyone to have the full experience. Full exhale hold, full inhale hold, and then release. Hands to heart. So I know you're ready for me. To align the intention to our collective attention. This is real magic. This is real magic. This is how magic is. Real magic. Power of persuasion, whatever you want to call it. This is real magic. I'm not making you do anything. You're doing it. You are making you do something you never thought you could do. Ujjayi, ocean sounding breath. Connect with the ocean, 86% water. Connect with the water, the wave drum we played earlier today. It's all here for you to find the gift. Good, everyone. Good, everyone. Placing those hands over our heart center, feeling it, right hand on top of left hand. In prayer, or just holding the heart, either way. Again, no space, because it's you. There's no separation anymore. There's no excuse, no need to apologize. It's over now for all of you. Like I said, I ruined your 1 hour practice. Now I'm ruining the next thing, which is this. No more excuses. When you're present, you're here, you're clear. You can move through all darkness, all doubt, all despair, all depression, without fear. That's all it is. So remember your intention, because that's your magic word for the heart to open. That's your magic word. That's your password. That's your source code. So when asked, what is the answer? And you have no idea what the answer is, you give them this word. And guess what? Door opens. If you don't give them this word and you forget this word, you gotta come back to the practice to remember. Don't worry, you won't miss your shot. We had it today. It's stuck. But if you do miss your shot, you come back to the practice to remember. That's why the practice is here. Okay? Lighter than light, brighter than bright. Everything that's grounded grows. Everything that grows gives. And everything that gives must surrender. And that's going to be our story for next week. Shanti, 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 yogis. Peace, peace, peace. In your hearts, in your lives, and everything that you see, are and be. The light in me sees, shares, acknowledges the light in each of you. Grounded in gratitude. In love, with love, and through love. Thank you everyone for coming out today. Namaste. Okay, yogis, for those who have journals, you got 2 minutes to write down some very, very pivotal things. For those who have your books, pivotal things. For those who just want to take 2 minutes, now 1 minute, but I'm going to encourage everyone, class is not over until I say it's over. So we got 1 more minute just to do nothing or to start writing things down, because this was a very important class. Class 3, letting go, letting be. What the anatomist Master Kent called operationalizing your intention. Operationalizing it. Well, there's how you operationalize it. And you put it into practice. And once you put an intention into practice, wow. How powerful was that? The perfect pairing. Priceless experience. No price on this experience. For some of you, this was $1 million experience. You would have paid $1 million for this experience. For some of you, you'll call me one day, say, I got $1 million, I'd love that experience back. Right? That's the key, that's the joy of the joke. Right? Because you can't get it back. It can only be cultivated. You have to be ready. You have to be at the right time, at the right place, at the right moment. You have to be the good soil. You have to be ready. And once you know, you can't unknow. That's why I'm so grateful you took this course. Yeah, because you would have missed it. You would have missed it. But you were here today, and this was the day you needed to be here, right? That's why I keep saying to people, it's like, with trust and everything, under promise, over deliver, right? Because it's infinite, so it's awesome. All right, yogis. Thank you so much for being here today. Namaste, everyone. Namaste, everyone. We're going to close our circle today, if everyone can, just with one Om. So if we can, let's take a deep breath in. Exhale, sigh it out. One Om, one Om. And deep breath in. Let's do 2 more. That was beautiful. One more. Deep breath in. Exhale, sigh it out. Shanti, 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 yogis. Peace, peace, peace. I love you all. I thank you all. Day 3, let go, let be. I'll never forget this one. Namaste, everyone. A good twist to our story. I told you it was going to be an adventure. All right, we'll see each other soon. Lots of love, lots of hugs, everyone. Yay, that was the best class ever. Literally the best class I've ever taught in my life. It was the best class I ever taught in my life. That's the Vegas class. 10,000 people. Worldwide, all over the universe. Multi-dimensional beings. Poseidon. Zeus himself.